can you just, could you,
Which games? The last two?
it was April the 24th, Thursday.
Yes. Orange County won 4-1 over Harrisburg.
Right, they won 4-1, and Chicago Fire Reserves.
3-2 over Charlotte.
Chicago 3. Yeah? 3-2. Kaz? Kaz? 3-2. You say?
Yes, send one down there. Where is he? Exactly where is your location, Josh?
It's right below us.
Oh.
First Fidelity Bank is proud to be an Oklahoma City Energy FC founding sponsor. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. Visit ffb.com. Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance. Golly, I just cannot stand that.
Galaxy and Arizona 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, Arizona tied them 1-1.
Zach, it's coming to you. Come to your phone.
I blocked my phone. Do not disturb. Here, I'll take it under. Just so my interviews aren't messed up. But hold on, I'll unblock it. Oh, hold on, maybe I got it. Yeah, okay, I got it. Never mind.
Hey, Jack.
Yes.
You have Jordan Cano on there.
Yeah.
I think that's from.
Yeah, that's from the. Yeah, you're right.
So my new stream should be out. So my new stream should be out, and it's live. And I'm now taking the radio feed. So
I'm good. It's out. I updated our website so it's out.
Brzezinski.
I saw that name and I was like, because I went to high school with his brother,
Who's that? Oh yeah.
Jordan Cano.
Yeah, yeah. What's this guy's name?
For tonight.
26 for them.
Betilo Jean.
Rafael Diaz is who they have.
Is that
For their
seven?
roster on 26, he's a keeper.
21, 17, 16, 20, 24, and 11. Or their reserves. Why do these teams do this?
Allie, what is this dude's name? Betilo Jean?
Who?
Number 17, reserve. You see that?
17.
Oh, it's Jean-Jacques Botello.
Jean-Jacques Botello. Yeah, I remember seeing him. Jean, spell that.
Jean, J-E-A-N.
J-E-A-N, Jacques.
Botello. You know how to spell Jacques?
I might. That's my real name.
Go for passing.
11,
We do. We're giving them to Christopher.
16, 17,
That was my test. I
21, 24. Okay.
Please use this.
Where's our? Hold on, I got a couple. Eight minutes to air.
Jack, are you good?
Tyler Turner, Anthony Poulos, Kevin Molina, Dennis Chin, Miguel Gallardo, Tommy Redding, Brad Russin, Brian Spann. We just saw Yordani Alvarez. Yordani Alvarez, Dennis Chin.
Kyle Gregg.
Boy, that wind is really blowing.
Kyle Miller, right back.
Not better.
Huh?
It's right back.
We had a
California.
big day.
Jimmy's interview from out here.
Hebo Blake, left back, Germantown, Maryland, USA.
Welcome back to Purple Stadium.
Pete Karenji, center forward, Baltimore, Maryland, USA.
During the pre-show, what will you be hearing on the radio? Are you talking about what's happening down there?
At 6:30 we come on and we talk about this, we scene set, and then the rest of it basically is pre-taped into the starting lineups 3 minutes before kickoff.
Just so you know, our feeds will be going with our pregame show videos.
Okay.
So, because YouTube flagging for copyright, in-house stuff makes it just like in-house.
Okay.
So, just, you know, radio is live all the time
Now-
on the web stream.
Okay. Okay. During my commercials though, you'll still be able to hear my audio, so I'll need to basically turn my mic off.
Oh, because my stream is just from your mic.
Yes. Well, it's from this board.
But if it's the same output that you're sending to the radio, won't I take the commercials for the web?
Oh. Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, just whatever you're sending to the radio, send me the exact same thing, and that's fine.
Okay, but we can't talk during that because during the commercials, because even though we talk, the station's not playing it. You would be able to hear our audio. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll just turn I'll turn our mics off during the commercial. Okay. Huh? Oh.
OKC Energy FC fans, in the event of a good win or an uncontrollable motor
5 minutes, okay.
please don't run on the field of play. It's in the rules that we can tackle you and then hand you over to the police. Then you have to go
That's
through
fine.
the embarrassment
That's fine.
of telling your mum.
Boy, the wind is really blowing. Why do I hear the national anthem?
Christian Duke, Miss Goodler, Woodland Park, Kansas, US.
Silver had the right back. Voila.
David Lichty, Kyle Gregg, forward, Olathe, Kansas, USA.
What do you want to concentrate on
Right back, Woodland Park, Kansas.
in our initial thoughts?
I just think we've got
Matt
to
Gunnarsson,
cover
right back, Arcata,
what's on the
California.
side this is, how many games they've played. They're still top of the league, they haven't lost a game. So they're coming here expecting to pick up another 3 points. We've got to go at them. I think we've got to be very definite, but without giving anything silly away. We've brought in, I think it's going to be, Kevin's going to take a little bit of time to bed in. We need to sort of discuss that. They've moved Carl up, which we've always liked.
Yeah.
Pushing forward.
Yeah.
So
Pete Karenji, center forward, Baltimore, Maryland, USA.
midfield will work very hard to get behind the ball in front. I think Carl will stay up and he's still come back and
Yeah.
stop them playing. I think we've got to push him up high. I don't know whether we will or we won't.
Yeah.
I think if we sit back here, the way this guy.
Oh, he'll yeah.
He finds space wherever you are. So we don't. We're going to give him space. We want to take him up here rather than down the box.
Yeah. Huh? Hi everyone. Hi everyone.
Have I got nothing on there?
You guys gonna be able to see? Sort of.
Is your mic on?
Huh?
The mic's on. They're not on, are they? The mics.
What do you mean? Oh, can you not hear?
No.
How about now?
No.
Is that too loud?
Can't hear anything.
Let me see.
OKC Energy FC fans, in the event of a good win or an
wonder. Ha. Nay, can I put it in the wrong one? 2
Yep,
minutes.
got it.
Is that
That's
too
good.
loud?
Yeah, that's good.
Hello, hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hello, 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 hello.
I need the Wi-Fi password. Please. Thank you.
Boy, hear that wind? That's the wind. Do what? 1 minute, okay? Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to what soccer fans have been waiting for almost 3 years as professional soccer debuts in Oklahoma City tonight. From Preble Stadium on the campus of Bishop McGuinness High School, Energy FC hosts the Orlando City Soccer Club, the top team in USL Pro and the defending champions of USL Pro and winners of 3 of the last 4 championships. Welcome, everyone, alongside Mo Borm. I'm Jack Damrell. The scene is set tonight, Mo. The crowd is here, soccer fans are here, and the atmosphere seems to be electric. The sea of green as the Energy make their home debut tonight. It should be a great, great atmosphere tonight.
Well, it is a great atmosphere. I mean, the people are minging in now. They're coming in their sort of hundreds. They're getting near the kickoff. We're starting now to fill up. It's looking good, as you say. It's like green all over. It's brilliant, and I think they've been waiting for this for a long time.
This is a stadium that has been a brand new turf, has not been played on. They came in, they redid the entire field before the season started. It was just completed not too long ago. It's very green, and brought in some more stands for the fans. Fans are everywhere so far, so this is it's a sellout crowd of over 4,000 tonight. Really spectacular. Yeah,
the field looks in very good condition. I was a little bit concerned about it. They were saying at the beginning of the week it needed some watering, but obviously they've given it a lot of attention through the week. The one thing I would say about the field is that it is fairly narrow, which probably would be better for us because Orlando are a very good side, and when you're playing on a smaller surface, it's easier to close them down quicker. Yeah, you know, when you've got the big field, they can ping it around and you're running around like lunatics. But no, it's going to. I hope it's going to be to our advantage.
Let's talk about this matchup tonight. Energy comes in 2 wins, 2 losses. They lost last week to FC Dallas in a tough one, 1-0. Orlando comes in, the top team in the league with the most points, 3 wins, no losses, and 2 draws. They by far are the best team in the league.
Yeah, certainly. They just on the 5 games they played, they're top of the league. They've not lost a game. In saying that, they've drawn 2. So we've got to go at them and have a go at them without fearing them, but respecting them. They obviously are a good side. They went down to Dallas and beat them 3-2 and played very well from all reports. and we went down there and lost 3-2. So you know, it's going to be a good game.
And the Energy get their players back. You know, they were hit last week with illnesses. They were hit last week with injuries. Mark Howard is back almost 100%. Some of the other guys are back. So, and we also have Kevin Ellis down from Sporting Kansas City. So it should be back to normal for this Energy squad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Kevin's strengthened the squad. He's coming straight in, which will, you know, the back four have had the same back four for the first 4 games. Now they've got another player coming in, Carl Miller pushing forward to take the place of Paul White, who's injured. And yeah, I mean, I think it will take Kevin you know, 20 minutes or so to get used to it. But they've been practicing for the last couple of days together as a side, so you know there shouldn't be that big a problem.
And they're going to need it because Orlando has a guy by the name of Kevin Molina, obviously one of the top guys in USL and probably the MLS come next year.
Yeah, he. The coach who went down. Spenlove, you know, he went down there and he said the guy was lightning.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know, give him an inch and he takes a mile. He said, so we've really got to get tight to him, and my guess is that we'll double up on him.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get players in and we'll get 2 players round him, 3 players if we need to. Very similar to when they shut down the Bayern Munich Robin.
Yeah.
They just got players around him, and that's really what they've got to do. I mean, in comparison.
Right. The Energy FC pregame show brought to you by First Fidelity Bank. First Fidelity Bank is proud to be an Oklahoma City Energy FC founding sponsor. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. Visit ffb.com. We will take our opening timeout from Pribble Stadium, where it is a sellout crowd for the home opener for Energy FC tonight. When we come back, Jim Byers will join us from the Energy FC studios as we continue from Pribble Stadium. You're listening to Oklahoma City Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY. Okay.
Spend more time with the people you care about most. Manage your finances on your time with anytime, anywhere tools like mobile deposit from First Fidelity Bank. FFB, we go where you go.
Partnership between these youth programs allows the Oklahoma soccer community to flourish and allows our kids to understand the beautiful game. Thanks to all those involved. Coaches Show. It's a great chance to meet head coach Jimmy Nielsen and special player guests. Don't forget to join us this Tuesday at 7 p.m. at Buffalo Wild Wings, located on Northwest Expressway. Visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro.
The time has come for the passion, the drama, the pursuit of history. The 2014 U.S. Senior Open is coming to Oklahoma at historic Oak Tree National, July 17th and 13th. Come see golf's greatest champions compete for our national championship. Field tickets are now available at the Southside. Purchase yours today at 2014USSeniorOpen.com or at any Pride Deluxe.
Energy fans, be sure to join us at McNally's in Midtown for our next event. Come enjoy the beautiful game with other Energy FC fans in Midtown. After the match, be sure to catch KXY Live on 96.1 FM, hosted by Jack Devereaux. Join Coach Nielsen as they debrief today's game. For lunch or dinner, the best eats and drinks in town can only be found at one place, Medio Tiempo Sports Cantina and Grill. Stop in for $1.99 street tacos every day, authentic Mexican dishes, gourmet burgers, and more. Watch all of the games on our 20 flat screen TVs and enjoy friendly, fast service, and the coldest drinks in the metro at Medio Tiempo. Medio Tiempo Sports Cantina and Grill, 2035 South Meridian. It's Medio time. Every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube in 2014. Features include DVR chat and social media interactivity. Subscribe free to the OKC Energy YouTube channel today.
The Bulls, soccer fans. If it's kicks in the stands, get out of the way. I can tell you, it hurts. Oh, that's gonna sting.
Make sure to follow USL Pro at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates.
Commercial, then me, yes. Yes.
First Fidelity Bank is proud to be a sponsor of OKC Energy FC with 22 OKC Metro locations, mobile banking and mobile deposit, and free ATMs worldwide. We go where you go. Visit ffb.com to find out more.
Welcome back. Okay. I'll have the interview out here if you want to play the music coming out of the bumper as well, like we did. Sounds good, Jake.
Soccer City OKC is a premier indoor soccer facility in the state, sporting 71,000 square feet of climate-controlled space and 3 large fields with brand new turf, Soccer City OKC offers adult and youth leagues, field rentals for a variety of sports, birthdays, parties, and much more. Located off of Northwest 122nd and Meridian, Soccer City offers fun for the entire family. Visit us online at www.soccercityokcity.com. Speakeasy is proud to be a free-game club partner of OKC Energy FC. Speakeasy is the perfect spot for a night out with friends or any private event or occasion. Come join us at Northwest 51st Street in between Classen and Western for free and post-game eats and drinks. Stay connected to Energy FC on all social media platforms using the official hashtag #USEnergy. Connect with the team on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google Plus, YouTube, and TikTok for behind-the-scenes looks at your favorite teams. Ladies and gentlemen, Western London, Prebble Stadium will be louder.
Warning. System overheat. Respond immediately.
Okay.
I don't care what you say, but just don't say okay. So the next game is next day the game, the game is already great. So I was like, why is he laugh? He was a West Point graduate,
Welcome back to Prebble Stadium on the campus of Bishop McGuinness High School as the Energy open up their home season finally here tonight against Orlando City. The head coach of Energy FC joins me, Jimmy Nilsson. And Coach, you've been waiting for this time for a long time. It's finally here. Talk about the excitement over this game.
Oh, we're all super excited. I've been waiting here for a long time. There are people in the organization who have been waiting for 3 years for this moment here. So, of course, it's going to be a special night. And as I told my players, with all the stuff that's been going on here on the Energy Week, they've been out to a lot of appearances and been around the city, been out in the community and been around. And there's a big buzz around the team right now. With that being said, they got to put that away and focus on the game.
Let me ask you that, because you have to keep this team focused, even though I know they want them out in the community, but you also have to get them game ready. So how do you kind of pick and choose between the two?
No, we got to find the right balance. This week here has been an unusual week with a lot of appearances and more than I normally will accept for the players, but you know, we all know we're a big part of a bigger project, and we want this here to be well respected in the community, and we want to work together, and we want to brand this team best as possible. So yes, it's been necessary this week here, but you know, as I told the players, you got to prepare yourself like it's a regular game. I know it's a special atmosphere around, and there's going to be a history with the first game, but you got to control your excitement and all your emotions and everything, and go out there and prepare yourself like you do normally. And don't try to stand out and want to be the big hero because it's a special game at home. Because if you want to do that and the team is not with you, you're going to fail and you're going to let down the team. You're going to play like normal. You're going to stick to the game plan, and you got to do what you normally do. And that's what have brought you where you are today.
You come off of a disappointing loss to FC Dallas last Tuesday. You had a lot of players injured, a lot of players sick. You had a week and a half off. How has that week and a half off helped this team recover?
Oh, they needed that. Some of the guys still a little after with the fitness and with the energy. It took a lot of energy out of the guys, and a lot of guys went down, struggling with a few injuries. You know, it's still a part of the game. You know, it was not any excuse from us after the Dallas game, and it's not going to be any excuse in the future. It's a part of the game. Some guys go down, and the next guy got to step up.
You play Orlando City tonight. They won the championship last year. They're going to the MLS next year. They have a very potent offense. Kevin Molina is very, very good up front. How do you control this team?
Oh, in my opinion, they're the best team in the league. They play the best soccer. They have a good experienced team with a lot of good young talent as well. Hungry team. They'll be in the MLS next year. A lot of those players you'll see tonight will be in the MLS next year, and they play well together for a while. But we have a plan. You know, they normally play teams that will sit back and got respect for them. We got to respect them, but we want to go after them at the same time, and they're not used to that. What I've seen in the past few games, we want. It's probably not going to be the most pretty game you've seen. But the key point is we come out there and try to turn the game into a battle. And I think we'll have a big advantage if we can turn the game into a battle.
And if you could score first, right? That would help.
Oh, that would help a lot because Orlando, they're a very smart team, very good team, well organized. We'll have a tough time to break them down. If they get an early goal, they can sit back and play on counters. They have some quick guys. And again, we got to respect them, but there's nothing to be afraid of.
Is there familiarity with some of these players? Because both of these teams have affiliations with Sporting Kansas City. Some of your players played on this team last year. Is there a familiarity between the two clubs a little bit?
Yeah, I know a few of the players. Mikey Lopez.
You played with a couple guys, right?
I played with a couple of guys. Mikey Lopez, played with him a few years in Kansas City. Very smart, intelligent player. Justin Clark, who's probably going to start as a right center back. He was here for a trial in our preseason. Didn't make it here. Now he's probably going to be even more hungry tomorrow to prove that I made a mistake not signing him here. No, I know the team pretty well. They're a very well coached team. A lot of good movement off the ball. I got respect for Orlando. We got to give them a lot of credit what they've done the last few years. They have been a good role model for the rest of the team in the USL, and right now I think it will be unrealistic that we have to compare ourselves with Orlando, but they're on a stage where we'll like to be in a few years.
Well, they've won several championships, so of course.
Absolutely, and we're going to give them a lot of credit. They're not only winning championships, they're winning the championship in a beautiful way as well.
You haven't been able to practice on the field or play on the field. Will that affect your game plan tonight, or is it just a field-to-field?
You know, it's going to be, we got to get used to the feel as well. We got to get used to the environment too. It will take a little while before we feel home here. A lot of the players, it's the first time they're out here on the field, so again, it's not going to be any excuses. It's a soccer field like anyone else, and we got 4,100 people behind us. We got to use that positive.
All right, well, Jimmy, good luck tonight in this home opener.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, that's the head coach of Energy FC, Jimmy Nilsson. We'll return with the starting lineups and the opening kickoff of the home opener tonight right after this. You're listening to Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY.
Energy FC studio. Time to take it back to Jack Damrell at Pribbles.
Wow.
All right, Jake, I will have Jim tossing it to me out here. Okay. So we'll do the starting lineups. I need this. And then we'll have one more break, correct? Okay. Okay.
Welcome our team, Orlando City FC. Orlando City is coached by head coach Adrian Heath and assistant coach Ian Fuller, James O'Connor, and Marcos Machado.
Welcome back. Jim Byers here in the Energy FC studio. Time to take it back to Jack Damrell at Pribble Stadium for tonight's match.
All righty, thank you very much, Jim Byers, as both teams are walking out onto the field for the first time here in Oklahoma City history for professional soccer. The Energy FC in their home green and white, and Orlando City in their traveling purple uniforms, and a standing ovation by the, well, right now, I would say almost 4,000 people here as everyone's still making their way into Pribble Stadium tonight. Welcome back to the First Fidelity pregame show. Here are the starting lineups for Energy FC. In goal will be John Kempen, 6'1", 170 out of Leawood, Kansas. In the back with him will be Gareth Evans, 6'1", 200 out of Wells. Also anchoring that defense will be Mark Howard, back in the starting lineup last week against Dallas. He is now 100% tonight, 6'1", 186 out of England. Cyprian Hedrick will also be back there, 6', 185 out of Cameroon. And the new kid on the block, Kevin Ellis, down from Sporting Kansas City, 5'9", 160 out of Kansas City, Kansas. In the midfield for Energy FC and Jimmy Nielsen's team tonight, Michael Thomas will be in the midfield, 5'10", 170 out of Overland Park, Kansas. Also, Kyle Miller moves up, Mo, from defense now to midfield. We like that move because he played very well moving up from defense.
Yeah, he always looks good going forward, so that'll give him a little bit more license to get forward. He won't have to get back so quickly, so Kevin will cover him.
So Kyle Miller, 5'9", 160 out of Overland Park, Kansas, and Nate Shipman on the other side. He's finally healthy after being very sick coming back from Arizona. Played while he wasn't feeling very good in Dallas, but still played well. But he is back to 100%, 5'8", 165 out of Richmond, Virginia. And the guys up front, Kyle Gregg will anchor the forwards. In the middle, 6'2", 185 out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Ada Jujeri on the right side, 6'5", 200 out of Denmark. And Peebo Due back at the left front, 5'10", 170 out of Tacoma Park, Maryland. And he's got both of those guys back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it's good to get them two back. Peebo adds a little bit of pace, and DeGero, Addy is very, very skillful. You know, you never know which way he's going, and we've watched him play 2 or 3 times where he's coming down the right-hand side, cuts inside. He's got a great left foot. You know, he is a natural left-footed player, so he always throws the defender. Instead of going past him, he comes inside him, which is always dangerous.
Right. The weather could be a factor tonight, Mo. 84 degrees, very warm, very muggy outside. We believe the rain is going to stay away. But as you can hear in our microphone outside, winds are very strong out of the south, 22 gusting to 35 miles an hour.
I really did have to laugh because we just had a band on with all wearing kilts. And with the wind, I was a little bit concerned. And it is blowing. It's bending everything back. So if we want to be kicking with the wind. Always take whatever nature offers you
in
first.
Oklahoma, definitely, because it could always change by halftime.
You get 3 up, it's much more difficult to get 3 back when you've got the wind.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Very windy, and unfortunately for me, Mo, tomorrow morning I run the marathon, and it's supposed to be as windy. We'll take our final break before we come back for the opening kickoff on the home opener for Energy FC. Our pregame show brought to you by First Fidelity Bank. First Fidelity Bank is excited to help kick off of a great inaugural season with Oklahoma City Energy FC. First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go, ffb.com. You're listening to Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY.
Number 15 defenseman, Kevin Ellis.
You okay? You want a pen?
Number 18 midfielder, Nate.
Do what?
I didn't know if you was looking for a pen.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn?
Hey, Jake, cover the national anthem for me with some promos if you don't get everything. Okay.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose blood shines and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of
Okay, bring it back. Okay. Jack Damrell, Mo Borum back at Purple Stadium on the campus of Bishop McGuinness High School for this home opener as a beautiful national anthem just presented here among the sellout crowd of more than 4,000 people. And Mo, I am quite impressed with what's going on here and the amount of people here and the sea of green that we're watching over the stadium tonight.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit concerned about 10 minutes ago, but it seems like everybody's come on the same bus.
Yeah.
And everybody's come swarming in. Brilliant. It looks great.
Well, they have brought in extra stands for this season on the south or on the north end zone, where we want to give shout out to our boys, the Grid, who are over there behind the goal area. And again, stands on the east side and the west side completely full. Then they have a standing room only on the south side behind that goal area to our right, as the stadium sits north and south. So just an excellent opportunity here tonight.
Yeah, the view of watching, where you know, it's awful when you just see loads and loads of empty seats, but there's not. It's great, and people standing, and they put extra seats in down the front, which are full up. It's really good. Yeah.
We are about set for kickoff as Energy will be moving from north to south or from our left to right. And Orlando, again, in their purple traveling uniforms. Oklahoma City, the Energy, in their home green uniforms. I think we've worn green, though, more on the road, Mo, than we actually have worn the blue so far in the 4 games that we've been on the road.
Yeah. Just to clarify for me, being a foreigner, Jack, which is south?
South is to your right.
So we've got the wind coming from the north.
We're going into
coming
the wind
from the south, and
yep.
we've got the wind going. They've got the wind behind them.
Yes.
Which is, you know, the best thing. They've obviously won the toss yeah. So
right.
So we've got kickoff.
Right. Adrian Heath, the head coach for Orlando. Jimmy Nilsson, the head coach, and actually, you know, Jimmy has quite a bit of familiarity with this team. He actually played with a couple of guys here a couple of years ago, as some of these guys, including Mikey Lopez, played in the U.S. Open Cup. Jimmy actually played with some of these guys in the U.S. Open Cup. So
yeah, I saw him going and shaking hands with a lot of them, and obviously they were friends. Yeah. For an hour and a half now, they're not going to be.
Exactly. Energy will have the kickoff. Even though Orlando won the toss, the Energy will get the kickoff to start as we are almost underway with soccer, professional soccer here in Oklahoma City. Referee Tony Mensah blows his whistle, and we are underway. And Gareth Evans will send a long boot down the field in the air. It will be held up by the wind and headed out by Orlando. And the ball still in the air. Michael Thomas comes. He's nudged out of the way, but no call. Here, and there's Mark Howard heads it back downfield. And Orlando controls it on the far side by Tyler Turner. Back defensively now. Turner looking long downfield for Molina. There he is against Mark Howard. And Molina has it, crosses across the box, but right there is John Kempen. And there we see it. They went right to Molina quickly.
Yeah, although Mark did well, he just he took his time, just stood by the side of him. And the shot was never dangerous. John picked it up quite cleanly.
Here is Kevin Ellis for the Energy, brand new to the squad, picked up or sent down from Sporting Kansas City earlier this week. Here's a cross by Peebo in the air, and it's headed out by Orlando at the top of the 6, and Orlando will control it about 35 yards out, and they will slow it up a bit as Luke Bowden will send it deep again. Gareth Evans giving chase, and he will head it back to John Kempen. Kempen will easily haul it in, but will quickly distribute out to Cyprian Hedrick here on the near sideline. There's Ada Dugeri. Michael Thomas now with it, sends it up, and it's headed out toward the near touchline as Nate Shipman can't get to it, and Orlando clears it, but right to Gareth Evans, whose ball is almost stolen, and it's out of bounds, and it will be given to Orlando.
Felt that was a little bit unjust there. I don't want to feel biased, but it came off of an Orlando player. The linesman didn't look like he knew quite what, and he just put his flag up, I think. Referee looked over at him and he didn't know.
Here's Ada. Michael Thomas has it, and it's stolen from behind. Nate Shipman with a slide tackle. No fouls called. Michael Thomas pushes off Alvarez from the ball. And now Orlando has it back, far side, Tyler Turner. Turner with a cross high over the bar, and it will be out of bounds for a goal kick. And there's that wind playing effect now for Orlando.
Yeah, and in fact, that might be good for us because when we play a ball forward, it's going to be held up. When they play a ball forward, it's going to go like a rocket. So they've hit 3 balls, and each one's been overhit.
So John Kempen will have a goal kick here as we are just underway from Purple Stadium here in Oklahoma City. Glad to have you along on 96.1 KXY, also streaming live on YouTube. First professional game in Oklahoma City history, and the goal kick sails out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando as Luke Bowden will throw it in. Long throw down the field, headed by Cyprian Hedrick to Gareth Evans. Evans, bad touch with it, and a shot taken from way out by Adama Mbeke.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a hopeful shot. It sailed over the top of the crossbar.
I should have said Mbenge.
Mbenge.
Out of the Senegal. 5'10", 170. He will anchor that midfield for Orlando, who comes in 3 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. The top in the USL Pro Division so far this year, and defending champions. Wow. And here's Kempen's kick, and it is held up in the wind and barely goes 25 yards.
Yeah, I mean, and John, he does take a good goal kick, and he's kicked it out. He's swirled up in the air and landed like 5 yards outside the box.
Here's Hedrick's throw in to Ada Dugeri, and now Shipman has it to Hedrick. Hedrick passes down the field to Kyle Gregg, but he can't control it. And now Ada tries to get it back, and here Nate Shipman down the right touchline. Again, this field is very narrow, and it's headed out of bounds by Orlando as Brad Russin knocks it out, but the throw in quickly, and they will wait for Michael Thomas. Again, this field about 66, 67 yards wide, Mo. Yeah. It's the narrowest field they will play on all season.
Really, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it really does look very, very short on width.
A beautiful playing surface. It is a brand new playing surface as they came in, I believe, starting January, tore the old field out. Here's a throw in, loose in the box. Orlando clears it and headed back in by Peebo Due. Due now playing defense, heads it back in. Ada now to Michael Thomas down the right touchline, touched in the back. No foul called. Thomas tries to get across, but good defense that time by Orlando, and Thomas can't get the cross in, but Gareth Evans heads it back in. And here's Kyle Gregg, a player down for the Energy, and now another player down, and no foul called as Kyle Miller took a couple of spills and wanted a foul, but no call by the referee here early on. He lets him play here in the 5th minute. The goalie, Miguel Gallardo, sends it deep, and he's got the wind with him, and that will travel from end to end, and it goes out of bounds. We're going to probably see that all night long.
I think so, yeah. The guy there, he'd have needed to be on a motorbike to catch that.
So another goal kick by John Kempen. Again, the Energy come in 2 wins, 2 losses, coming off of that disappointing loss to Dallas last Tuesday. Had an excellent chance to tie it in the 90th plus minute, but missed a penalty kick, unfortunately. And so the reserves from Dallas got the 3 points. Here's Kempen's kick, a little better.
Although in defence of the side, I don't really want to say they missed a penalty because the other keeper saved it.
It was a great save. Yeah, both keepers had great saves.
There were two excellent saves.
Yeah, no doubt
decent
about it.
penalties, excellent saves.
No doubt about it. Ball's out of bounds again. It'll be a throw-in for the Energy as Cyprian Hedrick will take it to Nate Shipman, who will play it backwards to Hedrick. Now goes into the middle to Kyle Miller, and his pass is taken away, and now he gets it back. Cyprian with it, and he tries to split 2 defenders, and now a player goes down, and Hedrick's got it now. And through the legs of Kyle Gregg. Nice try there as Peebo Due was right there, but couldn't get a touch on it. Otto Dugeri now with it, and Dugeri's left-footed cross will be cleared by Orlando. And the ball is up in the air again, and a whistle and a foul called against the Energy.
Yeah, Nate Shipman went in with his stud up.
And so it'll be a free kick for Orlando. And here it is.
Travels.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
Here it is into the box. Mark Howard with it. Nice defense.
Done very well.
Yes, nice defense, and his pass is taken by Peebo, who's tackled from behind. They're going to play on here. They have the advantage across midfield as Kyle Gregg. He will bring it back across the stripe, and now knocked out by Orlando as Brian Spann knocks it out, and he's limping. We saw Brian Spann actually last Tuesday. He played for the reserves in Dallas and then got on a plane the next day, went to Orlando.
Yeah, I think I made a comment that we could be playing against him, and we certainly are. And he's a good player.
Yes, he is, yes.
We're looking sharp. I mean, if anything, we've got the better of the game.
And here it is, Peebo Due into the box, and his cross is knocked down and picked up by the keeper, Gallardo.
Good defending. Good defending.
And Peebo is slow in getting up. He is still on the turf, down back in the 6-yard box. And stolen by Michael Thomas on the other end. Here come the Energy. Kyle Miller will slow it up to Shipman over near side to the touchline. Otto Dugeri now. Cyprian Hedrick with it. And his one-touch pass goes out of bounds. And Otto wanted a foul as he thought his jersey was grabbed. And he's arguing with the referee, and Orlando wants to go. But it is, again, stolen by Michael Thomas. And back to Mark Howard. Good to see Mark Howard back healthy.
Yeah, and he's looking as though he's running quite comfortably. So, yeah, for a little while we saw him running with a limp. And oh dear.
So here is the clear out by Kempen, and now a pass into the box and no one there for Orlando. Still trying to get used to this win. All their passes
I think this is going to be a pattern. I think it's going to be a pattern, Jack. We're going to get. They're trying to hit the 2 front boys, but they're hitting it over the top of them, and it's going 10, 15 yards. And then as soon as it hits the deck, the wind picks it up and takes it straight into John's hand. So that's as long as they keep doing that, we'll be quite happy.
And John taking his time going into the wind. He's taking his time to try to
kill a bit,
kill a couple seconds off the clock as we play in the 9th minute. No score from Purple Stadium in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Energy with their inaugural home opener. Orlando, long pass down the field. Wide open is Dennis Chin, and he's going to be called offsides by the assistant referee. And so they will bring it back. Tonight's game is presented by Mercy. Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance to learn how. Mercy, proud sponsor of Energy FC. Long pass held up in the air. Kyle Gregg with the head ball. Taken by Orlando near touchline. Actually, they're going to let it ride out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Orlando as Umbenge let it go out of bounds. Orlando, one-touch passes up to Kyle Gregg, and it's over his head, and he can't control it, but they quickly clear it out. They're playing the long ball more than I thought they actually might.
Yeah, I thought they'd get it down and play it, Orlando, but every time the defenders are getting the ball, they're hitting it long.
Yeah.
I think that's their plan because they think the wind's going to be a big advantage to them. As it turns out at the moment, it's becoming a disadvantage to them.
And here is a 3-on-3. Yeah. 3-on-3 for Oklahoma City. Peebo with a shot and a save by Gallardo, diving to his left, and he will quickly clear it up the field. But nice play by Mark Howard. Howard and Gareth Evans, if you notice, switch positions right to left, so Howard can be on Molina.
Yeah. Probably because Mark's probably a little bit quicker than Gareth, I'm guessing.
Here's Kevin Ellis. Ellis will give it up to Kyle Miller, who's up, and he's tripped from behind, and a tackle and a foul occurred. And so Kyle Miller take the foul. First foul against Orlando here in this game. And the Energy will have it about 15 yards past midfield on the far side touchline. And Michael Thomas will take the free kick. Thomas takes all the set pieces.
Captain Marvel.
By design, right, Coach Ritchie? All right, that's what I thought, yes.
We joke
James
about
Ritchie,
that in
the assistant coach up here with us in the box. Here is Michael Thomas's shot and a head ball over the bar. Cyprian Hedrick got his head on it, but could not play it down. It'll be a goal kick for Orlando. Nice crosses. He found Hedrick wide open, actually.
Yeah, Sip does well on them dead balls when he goes forward. He always seems to get on the end of it, no matter whether he's kicking it or heading it.
Eat, drink, and play at Kickapoo Casino, Hara and Shawnee. 2 locations, just 30 minutes east of Oklahoma City, or actually 30 minutes from Oklahoma City. Kickapoo Casino, get rewarded. Here is the goal kick, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Energy. There'll be a throw-in for Orlando. And here is Luke Bowden, 6'2", 184 out of England.
Ooh. And
a foul as Ada Jujeri fouls. Who is it that he fouled? It is
number 8,
Umbinge. And so it'll be a free kick for Orlando, setting up about the same position that the Energy had it just a few minutes ago.
This was foul over the very back, and they've got to be very careful with this.
Anthony Poulos will take the free kick. Here it comes into the box, and a dangerous play as Michael Thomas and Kevin Ellis both missed that with a head ball, but John Kempen able to keep his eye on it and able to haul it in, because that could have been a dangerous play on the far post.
Yeah, it was. There was not a lot of pace on it, so John shouldn't have let it go. But look at that ball; it's just swirling back.
Yeah. Held up, didn't it?
Yeah,
wow. Tells you how strong the wind is. And here is here's a foul over the back of Nate Schiffman as Luke Bowden climbed the back of Schiffman for a foul. It'll be a free kick, Energy.
Fullback was sort of claiming that he made a back, but he made a back because he had his elbow in the back of his ear.
And Schiffman had the position first.
Yeah.
So Gareth will take the kick. Here it is, high into the air. Far side to Peebo, but the ball is headed out of bounds by Tyler Turner for Orlando. And here is the throw in by Kevin Ellis to Kyle Miller. Peebo lost the handle on it. Ball comes to the middle of the field, but can't be controlled by Orlando. And here's Cedric. His dribble, though, is stolen, but he is able, or actually Peebo's able to get it back, and he is tripped. No foul called. And here is Orlando going down the right side and into the box, across, and John Kempen right there as it was knocked into the hands by Gareth Evans. Nice play defensively, because that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, that was very big. That was justice, because that was definitely a foul when they first won the ball in the middle of the park. It'd have been a bit unjust if they'd have scored from that.
He's going to let him play tonight.
Yeah.
So here is Peebo Due, and he will send it back to Kyle Ellis, and they'll slow up. Mark Howard now back to Ellis. Ellis up to Kyle Miller, and Miller will play it all the way back. Sold out crowd here at Pribble Stadium, over 4,000 strong. Beautiful sight here in Oklahoma City. You can hear the wind outside, and that is just how strong it's blowing. And here is the ball headed out by Ada Jujeri, and it'll be a throw-in for Orlando's Luke Bolden. Ball went in to Chin, but taken by the Energy. Kyle Miller comes all the way over from the left side spot in the middle to take it. And the pass is kind of lofted up and kind of is blown out of bounds by the wind. Michael Thomas, and nice defense, knocks it away from Kevin Molina. Kevin Molina, the first ever MLS signee for Orlando, and I say MLS signee because he's guaranteed a roster spot next year, Mo, because this team is going to the MLS. And here's a push off by Cyprian, but no foul again called. It will be a corner kick for Orlando as Cyprian knocked it out of bounds.
Did he give it a corner, or does he give it a throw-in?
I believe he gave a corner kick, didn't he?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
This team will be in the MLS next year.
Yep.
They've signed several players, or I shouldn't say several. They've signed a few players to MLS contracts already for this year to be on the roster next year. Here's the cross in, and it's headed out. Otto will try to clear it again. Head ball not really effective though. And now he gets it up the field, but taken by Orlando's Alvarez. He will send it back, and Alvarez will get it back on the near touchline. And his pass up now to Molina, and he can't control it, and the ball goes out of bounds. A throw in for the Energy. We play in the 16th minute here in Oklahoma City. No score. We will see this team again on Sunday as we travel to Orlando. And John Kempen, dangerous play, and Molina there to knock it out for a goal kick. Kempen held on to it a little bit too long, and Molina got a foot on it.
He was quick though, wasn't he? I mean, he covered that 10, 12 yards like a rabbit. Very quick. And John, I think, got caught out by his pace. He's going to have to be careful with that.
Molina was the USL Most Valuable Player back in 2012 and has several international caps for Trinidad and Tobago. Or Tobago, sorry, Mo.
I think it's Tobago.
Okay.
You say tobacco, and I say tomato.
Here's the clear by Energy. They get it into the other side offensively, but taken by Orlando, and now a long pass down the field, and nice play by Mark Howard to head it back out.
Great covering there.
And the Energy will take it. Here is Michael Thomas looking for a pass, has it backwards to Evans. Evans moves to his right, and his long pass up will be held up by the wind, but here's Kyle Gregg, and Gregg gets a head on it, but goes not the way he wanted. He couldn't flick it on, and it travels out of bounds near midfield for a throw-in. Here is the head ball as Dennis Chin wanted a foul, did not get it. And now a throw-in as the Energy clears it out of bounds.
Well played.
Nice defense by Kyle Miller.
Yeah, very good.
The pass up to Kyle Gregg, he can't handle it. And taken by Brad Russin. And now it goes back to the keeper, Gallardo.
Now they're starting to push him up a little bit higher now, the back four for Energy. Which leaves a big hole behind, which is where they're kicking it, and they'll hit it into space, and John can come and get it.
And here's Orlando with a 3-on-3, now 4-on-3 fast break as he gets by the midfield. And here's a shot block by Cyprian. Ottahout now has it, taken by Kyle Miller, who gives it up to Shipman, to Michael Thomas, and now over to Kevin Ellis, who will bring it up the far touchline and sends it across midfield to Nate Shipman. Shipman to Kyle Gregg, and Kyle will slow it up and sends it back to Kevin Ellis. Now to Michael Thomas in the circle, and Thomas will send it back to Mark Howard as the Energy taking their time, not in a hurry really to move it down the field, Mo, with just playing possession ball here.
Yeah, I just think if you watch their two centre backs, every time Kyle or Addy goes to get the ball, they win the ball with their head, but the defender hits them in the middle of the back, and I don't see how that's not a foul. He hasn't called it once yet, and well, maybe on my side it's not, but I just don't understand how you can get it in the middle of the back and it's not a foul.
Here is Kyle Gregg, and
this
Kyle
wind's,
can't get a foot on it, and Orlando sends it out of bounds near midfield.
This wind's playing havoc. It must be murder down there.
Cyprian throws it in, and over the head of Gregg. And here's Otto with a push in the back, no foul called. And Orlando controls it. Cross midfield.
This is the guy you got to get hold of. That's a good ball.
To Dennis Chin down the left side, and Dennis will not be able to catch it, do it again. A little lucky with the wind. Energy.
It looked a good ball, but as soon as it picks up pace and that wind gets hold of it, it's like scoots off the deck, and the surface seems a little bit wet. They must have watered it before they played.
Yeah, a combination with the wind and the wet surface, no doubt. We had anticipated some weather, but I think it's going to stay away till later on tonight. We're just going to
the wind's blowing the clouds.
Worry about the wind, yeah, exactly. Here's the goal kick by Kempen, and controlled by Oklahoma City. And it will be off of Orlando, out of bounds. Off of Luke Bolden, it'll be a throw-in for the Energy. And here is Cyprian's throw to Nate Shipman. Up to Kyle Gregg. Nudged in the back. No call. Here is Peebo. And they're going to say Peebo's touch went off of an Orlando player. And it'll be a throw-in for the Energy. They quickly get it into Michael Thomas. In the circle, Shipman to Kyle Miller. Miller up the line to Otta. Here's a good pass down the right touchline. Otta off the left foot, now switches to the right, looking for the left foot. Here it is into the box to Kyle Miller, and Miller his cross is out of bounds for a goal kick.
He obviously thought it came off the guy's foot. Jimmy thinks so too.
Everyone thought it came off of an Orlando defender, but
defender comes across him and you hit a ball. He's got a slice off his foot, but well, now he's going to have to watch yourself, Jim.
Here's the goal kick, and the Energy win it out of the air, but Orlando takes it back, and the ball still continued to be played in the air. A lot of airtime by both teams so far early on, Mo.
Yeah, very much so. It's just going backwards and forwards like a tennis game. The advantage to us, though, is that when it goes forward and we hit it forward, it does hold up for the forwards, whereas with them, it just overruns and goes over for a goal kick. That's a good throw.
Yep, Cyprian Hendricks throwing to Kyle Gregg. Gregg with a cross across the box and too far as Nate Shippen will try to chase it down, and he does before it goes out of bounds to Kevin Ellis. Ellis looking for a pass down the left touch to Peebo. Peebo changes directions. His pass across the box and headed out by Orlando. Otto Dujeri right there outside the box, though. He will set up and a left-footed shot. Nice one taken and a nice save by the keeper, Gallardo. But a better shot by Otto right there from distance.
Kept it down. Yeah, but it was, you're talking 20, 25 yards, so keeper should get it. It's straight at him.
So Orlando with it, and they can't control a bad touch there by Brian Spann on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for the Energy. We play in the 22nd minute. Still no score. Energy with a couple of shots so far on goal. Orlando really with only one good chance so far in the game.
Yeah,
they've been hampered by the win so far.
Yeah, and they've got the win, the advantage to it. So, I mean, we've looked a better side than them, to be fair, I think.
It's been mostly played on this half, Mo.
Yeah.
Here is Gareth Evans. Slow pass to Hedrick. Now to Otta. Dujeri with it, and he will switch directions across the field, but that's held up and stolen by Orlando.
Yeah, can't do that.
Here's a 2-on-2. Shoved off the ball is Kevin Ellis. No foul, and a nice defensive play by Kevin Ellis, and now we're going the other way for the Energy. Here is Kyle Miller across the stripe. Looking for a pass down the touchline. There is Peebo wide open along the left side of the box. He will slow it up to Kyle Miller, top of the box. Now to Michael Thomas. Thomas with a possible shot. Here it is, and it's taken by the keeper, Gallardo.
I thought they were a little bit unjust there, Orlando. That looked to me as that was a foul, and three of them stood there arguing, and we broke away.
So Miguel Gallardo with another save for Orlando as the Energy putting some pressure on here in the 23rd minute, now 24th minute almost. Head ball won by Gareth Evans, but actually travels backwards, and here is Kevin Molina. Watch this guy. To Chin. Chin with a shot and a save by John Kempen on the left hand. A beautiful save by John Kempen. And the crowd rewards them with a nice ovation. Boy, nice save.
That was a super save, yeah. Super save. And they played really sharp there. That's the best chance they've had.
Here's the high kick. Floats up into the air and won by Orlando. And now here's Molina again. He gets rid of it to Spann, and Spann looking for Chin in the box, guarded by Evans. Evans will let him dribble outside the box. And now a cross, and it is knocked away by, I believe, Peebo or Kevin Ellis actually got his foot on it. Who was that? It was Peebo who got his foot on it. Yeah. It'll be a corner kick for Orlando, their second of the game.
James.
So here's the corner kick for Orlando, and before that, we're going to have a shoe tied, so there's going to be a delay here. What could you do with more energy, more strength, more health? Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance to learn how. Mercy, proud sponsor of Energy FC, and the corner kick is cleared out. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando. Not sure, Mo, what's going on now. I guess they want Tyler Turner to come from the backside to take the throw-in.
Yeah.
A youngster, only 20 years old, played for the U.S. men's national U18 team. And here's a cross in, and Kippen on the box, and a rebound, and a shot, and a score. Dennis Chin with the goal, I believe, for Orlando.
Didn't cover that really on the cross.
Kempen had the original save on the goal line, but it rebounded off of him and right to Dennis Chin. And Orlando up 1-0 here in the 26th minute.
A little bit unfortunate that because we've had most of the half. The first real attack they've got. And
Orlando FC goal scored by Dennis. Ladies and gentlemen, the Orlando FC goal scored by Dennis Chin.
Dennis Chin is credited with the goal here in the 26th minute. And Orlando is up top 1-0. So the Energy will kick off here as we restart, and the ball knocked out by Peebo. It'll be a throw in for Orlando on the far side. Brad Russin will toss it in for Orlando. And here's that long pass down and wide open. Got behind the defense was Molina, I believe, but the pass too strong in the wind, and John Kempen right there. Seems like the wind is actually picking up, Mo, and not slowing down as it would as the sun sets.
You look at those trees over there, they're almost bending over.
Here's Kempen's clear. Orlando takes it. And here's Gareth Evans. And miscommunication, and here's going to be an offsides call correctly. Dennis Chin offsides by about 5 yards. He's arguing, but from up here, he was way offsides.
Way off, yeah.
It wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't close.
Not sure what he's arguing about. So here's the restart. Nice kick into the wind by Gareth Evans and headed out. It'll be a throw in for the Energy. Here's Kyle Miller quickly into Cyprian. Cyprian's pass into the box and headed out. But right there's Michael Thomas, but he can't take it away. And Orlando clears it quickly. Up to Chin, who Chin can't get ahead on it, and it goes down the other end of the box as we play from end to end again.
Yeah, I mean, they're kicking it from their 18-yard box, and the ball's going into our 18-yard box. That's how heavy the wind is.
Kevin Molina knocked it out for Orlando, and the referee wants the throw-in to occur a little deeper than where Cyprian Hedrick actually took it. Big weekend here in Oklahoma City with this home opener for the Energy. Of course, a big basketball game tonight, and of course, the big marathon tomorrow morning.
Of which you're running in, Jack.
I will be there, yes, bright and early. 6:30 start, no doubt about it.
I'll be there in spirit.
Thank you, Mo. And here's a pass into the box, and Kippen comes out. He's actually knocked down by Mark Howard, but no damage done. Yeah, quick turnaround. Got to go home, go eat my pre-race dinner, and try to get a couple hours sleep. And off for 26.2 miles.
You do know, of course, that Liverpool are playing Chelsea tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
So
You'll have to run quick.
Exactly. Ball on the other end now for the Energy, but taken by Giardo for Orlando in the box, and the goalkeeper, wearing all black for Orlando City, will clear it. He could probably throw it as far as he could kick it in this wind. This time he'll kick it, and Mark Howard heads it back in. And Orlando wins it out of the air.
Head tennis.
And headed out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando at midfield. 1-0 Orlando with the lead here in the 29th minute. Their throw-in, taken down the near touchline. Here's Molina trying to cross it across the box, a dangerous play, and the Energy finally clear it. Kevin Ellis with the clear. Peebo clear is stolen by Orlando, and now they have it again.
Lucky bounce there.
And Otta will clear it for the Energy. Kyle Gregg can't get ahead on it at midfield, and Orlando will go the other way. And now they're playing some possession as Brad Russin has it, and he will loft it high in the air down the right side. Mark Howard is defending, and Chin lets it go out of bounds, and now Mark Howard is down again. He is holding.
Didn't he? He didn't.
He's holding that right ankle. He's holding that right ankle again. And he looks to be in a lot of pain. You know, those high ankle sprains are hard to get over. And although you may be 100%, they can come back like that. And I think that's what's happened here, Mo.
And to be fair, I think the ball was out. When the kid played it back in, he went to make sure that he got it, and that's when he did his ankle.
Speakeasy is proud to be a pregame pub partner of OKC Energy FC. Speakeasy is the perfect spot for a night out with friends or any private event or occasion. Come join us on Northwest 51st Street in between Classen and Western for pre or post-game eats and drinks. And I know the Grid, the fan club, the Grid, they were over there before the game. They marched over here. And I believe Mark Howard is going to be finished for the night, and Tarek is going to come in for him. And they're going to make that defensive change like they did in game 1 for Orlando City. And maybe not yet, because Mark is actually walking off on the far side under his own power.
I think he wants to play, but I think they'll leave it for a minute or two.
So let's see. Well, they're going to walk him off the field, and they will not make a sub at this time, although Jimmy Nilsson is trying to ask whether they need to make whether they need to take him out or not, and he can't get an answer from trainer Tim Moore. So we will restart with a goal kick, and the Energy will play down for now, 10 men, until they can decide what they need to do. And let's see if Mark can come into the game.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Thomas has gone back into
a defensive role.
Pool,
yeah. And here is Mark Howard. He is limping though noticeably, Mo, and I doubt he's going to be able to continue much longer as the ball carries out over the goal line for a goal kick. He just looks like he's in too much pain.
He's back on, so.
32nd minute, 1-0 Orlando on top of Energy FC here in the home opener for Oklahoma City. We're on the road next Sunday in Orlando to take on the same club, and then we're back home for a couple of games on May 10th and May 16th against Orange County and then against Richmond. And here is Orlando now. They have the ball back in their own goal area, and here is Gallardo, the keeper. He sends a left-footed kick out to midfield. The ball is in the air and headed by who is that? That is Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas
yes.
got good header. Mind you, he got right over the top of it, headed it forward, and it just goes up in the air. It's almost like you're heading it into a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
I think you are. I think it is 40 miles an hour. It's very strong. We talked about it before the game started. 22 miles, gust of 35, and it's all of that. And here is John Kempen for the goal kick for the Energy here in the 33rd minute. Mark Howard's still in there, although Tarek Murad is warming up on the near sideline. The Energy bench to our right and Orlando to our left. Directly below us, Orlando controls the ball. They send it high in the air. Hedrick will bring it down, but a bad touch, and now Orlando takes it away, but not controlled by Umbinge. And now his pass to Molina, and he can't control it, and it's cleared by Howard.
And he looked quite comfortable there. He could have let that run.
And Orlando gets it back off the chest of Gareth Evans. Out to get it is John Kempen.
Don't get caught.
And Kempen up to Michael Thomas, and he'll send it back to the keeper.
Actually, John's striking it a lot better now than he was in the first 5 minutes.
Taking his time to clear it this time, and here it is. And that one,
spoke too
as
soon.
soon as you said that, it's held up in the wind. But Otto with that head ball.
Yeah.
And now the pass down by Orlando. Evans gets it to Cyprian Hedrick. Hedrick with a nice move down the touchline. Up to Kyle Gregg. He flicks it on to Peebo Douay. Douay, touch to Shipman. Now down the middle to Kyle Miller. Can he get to it? No, Orlando does, and they kick it out of bounds, but a nice setup there by those three.
Yeah, strung 3 or 4
down the
passes
field.
together. Look quite useful.
Throw in for the Energy. Hedrick to Thomas. Back to Hedrick in the middle of the field. Looking for someone to pass to. He goes far side, but not a good pass. And Orlando right there, and Brian Spann is going to let it go out of bounds for a throw-in. Here's Molina. Nudged in the back by Thomas. To Spann. Spann's cross-field pass is to no one, and the wind will carry it out of bounds for a throw-in. Bob Bartley Electric is a proud partner of Energy FC. Visit us at www.bartleyelectricinc.com for more information. So a throw in for Energy here in the 36th minute. Orlando up 1-0 over the Energy with a goal in the 26th minute by Dennis Chin after a nice save by John Kimpin. And on the rebound, Chin was right there and had an easy goal. Here's Orlando now playing it back defensively, and a nice clear by Gallardo up to Luke Bolden. Bolden, left-footed pass to Molina. Molina can't control it, and it's won by Cyprian Hedrick.
Did well there, Cyprian. Did very well. Oh, he's got a kick there as well.
Kyle Gregg got kicked in the ankle and had to come off of the play, and now the ball is out of bounds. Did Orlando kick that out on purpose because of the injury to Kyle Gregg? Possibly. And Jimmy Nelson's telling them to kick it back. Some gamesmanship here, Mo.
Well, no, they're just going to play it back to the keeper. They had the ball. It's sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I used the wrong term.
Yeah.
I knew what I was talking about. I just used the wrong term. So here's Miguel Gallardo.
That one's got snow on it.
Sent up to 18,000 feet, huh?
Yeah.
And it's headed out by the Energy, and Orlando will have a throw in just down from their bench to our left. And here is Luke Bolden to throw it in. About 9 minutes to go before halftime. Orlando with it, Anthony Poulos with it. He will send it back to Brad Russin, and far side. And one out of the air by Peebo, but he's knocked down, taken by Orlando. Now in the middle of the field. Here is a pass into the box, and Umbenge can't get there. Again, too strong with the wind. It goes out for a goal kick for the Energy.
Yeah, it must be a heck of a job to try and get a pace on the ball. You try to knock it to him, and under normal circumstances he'd have got that, but it was just shoots off your foot and gone.
USLProSoccer.com. Score, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. So anything you want to know about USL, go to their website. That's how we do our research. And excellent website. They'll tell you about every single team in the league, the standings. A lot of information there for those who love the game of soccer and want to know more about teams coming into Oklahoma City. Orange County will be the next team here in a couple of weeks. And here's the knockout on the far side by Orlando. It'll be a throw-in for the Energy.
That was a good run there from Kevin Ellis. He looks quite sharp and down the left, doesn't he?
On loan from Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah, he's had it.
Played in about 3 games for the big squad this year before he was sent down here to get more playing time, and that's why they sent him down. They wanted him to get more playing time at this level. So that's why they brought him from Kansas City earlier this week. Orlando will play it into the box, headed into Gallardo, who will wait till Kyle Gregg is there to pick it up. As we play in the 39th minute now, 1-0 the score. A goal by Dennis Chin in the 26th minute for Orlando as they look to remain undefeated on the season. Right now, 3 wins, no losses, and a couple of draws, and in first place. Here's Orlando, and the ball played up in the air a couple times, and now taken down by Poulos. And a dangerous pass, almost stolen. It was stolen by Kyle Gregg, the Peebo Due down the left side. Due splits 2 defenders, looking for Kyle Gregg, and he can't find him. But the ball still won by Oklahoma City to Otta, and Michael Thomas's pass can't be controlled, and Otta can't get a foot on it out of bounds. Throw in for Orlando.
That was very unfortunate.
Good opportunity there by the home squad.
Yeah.
Throw in headed out by Michael Thomas up into the stands, and no, this is not baseball. You can't keep the foul ball. It's got to be thrown back.
Do you keep the ball then in baseball?
In baseball, you do, yeah. A foul ball's hit up in the stands or a home run, you keep it, Mo. Here's a throw in by Orlando. Nice defense by Gareth Evans as he steals it away from Dennis Chin. Beautiful defensive play by Evans. Up to Kyle Gregg, to Shipman, and Gregg touches it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in Orlando in front of Jimmy Nelson. '40th minute here in Oklahoma City. Coming up on the midway point of this home opener for the Energy, in front of about 4,000 plus Here's nice play by Luke Bolden to split 2 defenders and takes it into the box. The cross is not controlled, and Orlando has it now, looking for someone. And here is Molina with a shot knocked down by Mark Howard. And now Kevin Ellis has it. And Ellis actually gets a rebound and the ball out of bounds off of his hip, and a throw in for Orlando.
Well, you can hear what the crowd thought.
So Orlando will reset at midfield. They'll bring it to the near touch line to Bowden. Bowden with a pass down near the box, and Evans will knock it out. It'll be a throw in for Orlando at about, what is that, about 8-9 yards out.
Yep.
Well, I'm impressed by the sea of green here, Mo.
Yeah, the crowd is great. I mean, now we need to just get a little bit more noise, just wind them up a little bit.
Need something to happen, don't you?
Yep.
Here is the cross by Bowden, headed out by the Energy, but Orlando wins it back at midfield.
This is Orlando's best spell, actually. They've kept the ball for the last couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, and they're looking dangerous.
Yeah, they have. Here's a cross by Orlando, and a shot, a save. Whoa, beautiful shot by Umbinge, but a better save by John Kimpin on that one.
Yeah, that was a reaction save, excellent.
It was, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Wow.
He probably had seconds to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't take it off the guy. The guy came in front of our defender and got the shot in.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the ball, won by the Energy. Nice play by Shipman. Peebo is tripped up and a foul is called. Michael Thomas will reset quickly. Down to Otta, and Otta, not sure he knew where the ball was, but the Energy has it, and a bad touch by Kyle Miller, but he wins it back. Good second effort there by Kyle Miller. Cyprian, nice defense tonight by Cyprian, and he wins the ball. Still winning the ball. Splits 2 defenders, and no foul is called. No foul is called, and here we go, play on. Orlando with a far touchline. They'll bring it back to the circle, and they'll slow it up. Anthony Poulos. Right side to Tyler Turner. And here's Brian Spann. Spann sends it to the near side, all the way across the field to Luke Bowden. Bowden's cross into the box and no one there, over everyone. And Kevin Ellis will run it out of bounds for a throw-in down by the corner. Here in the 43rd minute. 1-0 Orlando. And it went off of Orlando. It will be a throw-in. Let's see if the Energy can get a late push here. And a whistle, and there's your foul, Mo, as the push was finally called in the back.
And I didn't think that was. Oh, dear. Who'd be a referee?
Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, you're right.
So Kevin Ellis will take the free kick for the Energy near midfield. Short pass to Peebo Due. Gives it up to Kyle Miller, into the middle to Shipman, and he'll send it back to Michael Thomas. Just before halftime here in the 44th minute. Should be a couple of minutes of stoppage time with the injury to Mark Howard earlier. Shipman has it, looking for a pass at midfield. He's into the circle, crossing midfield. And a pass up to Kyle Gregg on this left side, and player is knocked down, no whistle, and we play on.
Yeah, I don't think that was a foul. I think Carl weren't going to get it and he died, but now we're in it.
Yep, here's the Energy. They need to get it before it goes out of bounds. They do. Cyprian, nice hill pass to Otta. And Otta has it. We'll play it back to Mark Howard. There will be 2 minutes of stoppage time. Here is Kevin Ellis down the left touchline, into the box, left side, looking for a pass, left-footed across the box, no one there, and cleared by Orlando. Excellent opportunity that time, and a handball by Brian Chin, no call. And here they go with a 2-on-1 fast break, but now slowed up, and now the Energy have men back here defensively. Now they even it up. Into the box, crossed by Bowden, and cleared by Mark Howard. And now Evans with it, and he will get it up to Peebo along the left touchline.
This guy's really impressed me, Luke Bowden, coming down the left-hand side. He gets forward, he defends well, he heads well, and that was the guy that got done the cross. he really does get forward for a fullback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, been very impressive.
Here's Orlando as we are now playing stoppage time. There will be a minimum of 2 minutes.
Where are we? Where's shit?
And
that
Orlando
gap.
has
Look
a
at
player
that.
wide open.
Oh.
Here on the near side, Bowden with a shot and blocked by Mark Howard. And another cross by Bowden is knocked away again. And a shot and cleared by the Energy. But back out to Orlando, and a shot is cleared by Oklahoma City. Here's a cross into the box, and it's cleared out of bounds for a goal kick. And a beautiful set of plays that time by the Energy defensively to prevent a goal.
That was good defending. We got bodies in front of the ball. Wow, that was, and it, just when I was saying that the 14, he's been causing us all sorts of problems getting down the left-hand side.
So we are in the final minute of stoppage time.
Yeah, Luke Bowden, yeah.
Orlando up by a score of 1-0 here in the Energy's home opener as they score the 26th minute on a Dennis Chin rebound shot off of John Kempen. And here's Kempen's goal kick. And Orlando wins it down the field, actually, to Molina, and Evans with some size advantage a little bit heads it over back to John Kempen.
Yeah,
nice
good
play.
header there back to the keeper. Little touch.
Here is Otta, but stolen, and a whistle and a foul called as Otta, I believe, was stepped on. So the Energy get one final try here as I believe Gareth will should send it into the box, see what he can do here in the final seconds of stoppage time. His ball held up into the wind a little bit, and Orlando heads it out. The right to Cyprian Hedrick to Otta. Here's Hedrick again. Pass into the box to Kyle Bragg, and his touch goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
First
He
touch.
was open.
Yeah.
He was open.
First touch was poor. He done great, got in a great position and just didn't get that first touch in. A bit unlucky, good run.
And on the goal kick, that should be it, probably more than likely.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I think Energy have done had as much of this half, and we're against a 90-mile-an-hour wind. So I'll be pleased with that.
Exactly. That is the whistle that ends the first half of this inaugural home opener for Energy FC as they get a standing ovation by the home crowd, 4,000 strong here, as they will walk to the near side to go into their locker room after a very nice first half. Mo, despite the goal, I still thought play was pretty much even. Final 10 minutes maybe, Orlando controlled most of the possession.
Yeah, Orlando came into the game in the last 10 minutes of the half, but beside that, for 35 minutes, it's been end-to-end stuff. And when you consider that they're going into a very, very heavy wind, I think they've done reasonably well.
Tonight's game is presented by Mercy. Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance to learn how. Mercy, proud sponsor of Energy FC. We have completed a half here in Oklahoma City. The score, Orlando City 1, Energy FC 0. We'll return with our halftime festivities and more from Pribble Stadium in Oklahoma City. You're listening to Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY. So this is a 4-minute spot, Jake? That's what I got on my script, okay? Oh, no, that's post-game. Oh, no. You have 3 minutes. I'm sorry. 3, yeah. Okay. Time. What do you get?
Futures Booster Club today. Visit heelsandfutures.com for details. Oklahoma Cleats for Kids collects, recycles, and distributes new and gently used athletic shoes and equipment to kids in need. If you have shoes to donate, please contact OKCCleatsForKids.org. Energy fans, be sure to stop by Western Avenue's newest pub, The Barrel. The Barrel offers a wide variety of pub fusion cuisine and an extensive selection of craft beer, wines, and spirits. Grab a pint after the match at The Barrel. Post-game autographs will be held for 15 minutes directly after the game. Please be patient as our players need to hydrate. Autographs will be held on the main field.
Jack Damrell, Mo Borum back at Pribble Stadium at Bishop McGuinness High School in Oklahoma City. Orlando City with a 1-0 lead over the Energy here in the inaugural home opener for the Energy, as Dennis Chin for Orlando City scored in the 26th minute, Mo. And really it was a nice play initially on a great save by John Kempen. It just rebounded, and right there was Dennis Chin for the shot.
Yeah, it was one of those opportunities goals. It was a decent goal. Guy a good shot in. Kempen got down, done great to get the stop, but just couldn't hold it, and it just flipped up and he knocked it in. But in saying that, you know, Carl Gregg's had a couple of chances where his first touch has let him down, you know, and it is heavy wind, and you know you can be critical and say he should have done better, but he done great to get into the position he got into, and then that first touch he's running at 700 mile an hour, and to kill a ball just like that, you know, and it just bounced off and went over the line.
Again, we're at halftime. Orlando City with a 1-0 lead. We'll take another break, come back with the Senior Executive Vice President of this squad, John Allgood. We'll talk to him about his thoughts about opening night and what he has in store for this team, and what it took to get this game going on. We'll talk to him. When we return, you're listening to Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY. Welcome back to Pribble Stadium. We're at okay. Welcome back to Pribble Stadium. We're at halftime with Orlando City and the Energy in their home opener tonight. A great atmosphere so far in the first half and a great first half. Joining me is Senior Executive Vice President of Prodigal, John Allgood. And John, let's talk about this, what it took to get all this going. The announcement of the team shortly before the first of the year, and now you are here tonight. It's for real, and it's a great atmosphere.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jack. You know, it actually has been a 3-year process. Bob Funk Jr. has been working on it for that long, and then I've been involved in it heavily for about a year. But I'm glad to see the fruition of for Oklahoma City more than anybody else, that, you know, professional soccer is alive and doing very, very well. And we're very proud to bring the product to Oklahoma City and the team that Jimmy's put together, and our front office. I'm very proud of them as well.
Talk about the start of the season. The team's 2-2. A good start to the season so far because both losses have been against MLS clubs. So it's pretty impressive what they've been doing so far.
Yeah, especially that last loss to Dallas, and we had so many players sick, not playing well. But, you know, Jimmy, we discovered Jimmy through Sporting KC back in, at the league meetings, and he came highly recommended. We actually flew him down to Orlando to visit with him, and we just really liked him from the get-go. And as impressive as you're seeing between the lines, the way they're playing, is his community spirit, and what he does for the community is impressive, and that has bled over to the team. So that's just as important to us as it gives back to the community. And we're very proud of the team, and 2-2 is good. And you know, we feel like we've got a chance to make a long run here.
Talk about getting this team in the community, because they've really been out. That's I know that's a big focus of you, is to get these guys out to spread the word of soccer, not only about the Energy, but about soccer as well.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of youth clubs that are playing, but there's also just kids in the street playing. And the South Side, you know, we visited Santa Fe South High School the other day, and that was a huge hit for those kids to be able to interact with our players and see that you can succeed. And they've been great. The players have just been outstanding, and they'll continue to be throughout the season.
What I'm amazed about is I've known you for a long time. You and I have worked together for a long time. We opened up a new ballpark downtown with the 89ers / then Redhawks, and the atmosphere was great for that one. This is comparable to that, maybe more so, because I feel more excitement over this than I did with baseball.
Yeah, the difference is I think everyone at that point in '98 everyone was excited about the ballpark. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was about baseball.
Right.
Now it's about the sport of soccer, and I think I think more people are excited just because it's about a sport and not a venue, because it affects so many people's lives. And, you know, we've seen that with the ticket sales that we've had and the sponsorships that we've had. So, yeah, I've used that analogy before, that I think it's if not better, is equal to the excitement when the Bricktown Ballpark opens.
And that's kind of the start of what's happened to the city with the growth sports-wise in the city now, with the NBA, of course, being here. And the city's really taking off sports-wise, and you guys can capitalize on that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, our intention is to when we brought professional soccer to Oklahoma City with USL Pro, that has been the proven gateway to MLS. We believe that MLS can be a companion to the Thunder and the NBA as a sport. You know, obviously the seasons connect a little bit, but not a lot. But the city is now matured enough, we think, that it can support 2 major league teams, and we think soccer is the one that will be the next major league team in Oklahoma City.
That is the Senior Executive Vice President of Prodigal, John Allgood. We are at halftime. This is the Kickapoo Casino halftime report. It's Orlando City 1, the Energy FC 0. We'll return with second half kickoff. Right after this, you're listening to Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY. Hey, Jake, you can take 3 minutes here.
Or go to www.energyfc.com today and be the first to wear the fastest trending clothes in town. sweepstakes. The goal of Sexual Assault Awareness Month is to raise public awareness about sexual violence and to educate communities and individuals on how to prevent sexual violence. Please join the OKC Energy FC as they partner with the Oklahoma Attorney General's Office, Oklahoma Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, and take a stand against violence and advocate for Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Okay.
After the match, be sure to catch the post game on KXY Live on 96.1 FM. Hosted by Jack Demerol, join Coach Nielsen and Jack as they debrief the game.
Back at Purble Stadium on the campus of Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Glad to have you along. Jack Damerol with Mo Borum as Orlando City leads Energy FC here at halftime by a score of 1-0, and we're going to have a couple of substitutions, it looks like, for the Energy, as Stephen Perry will come into the contest, as will Philip Lund. And let's see who came out of the game, Mo, as they make the substitutions here. I can tell you in the first half, let's go over some stats in the first half. Shots on goal for Orlando, 10 for Orlando, 5 for the Energy. 2 corner kicks for Orlando, none for the Energy. The Energy have 4 saves by John Kempen, Orlando City with 3 saves, and fouls. The foul count is 7-2. Orlando with 7 fouls, and the Energy with 2. Nate Shipman comes out of the game, as does, well, we'll get that here, Nate Shipman. So Philip Lund making his first appearance, as he has been hobbled by an injury for the start of the season, and so he is on the field for the first time, Mo, as we get to see him.
Yeah, it looks like Peebo came out.
Yep, Peebo Due and Nate Shipman both came out of the game. So 2 substitutions for Jimmy Nilsson, none for Orlando. And here we go with the second half whistle, as Orlando now goes into this strong wind, and here we see the dangerous play by the wind, and Mark Howard heads it out, but Kevin Ellis can't control it, and he knocked it out for a throw-in for Orlando to start the second half here.
And like we were saying with the nature, if you look at the wind now, I think it's dropped a little bit, if anything.
If anything, yep.
Look at those flags. I mean, they were bent in half a little while ago. We just got to hope that we get the wind back. And
so here, the Energy with the ball down the right touch line is Philip Lund. He will change directions and slow it up. And his pass to Kyle Miller is stolen, and Orlando down the field, but won right back by the Energy. Michael Thomas to Cyprian Hedrick, and his pass is taken away by Orlando. And the Energy with it across midfield. Philip Lund with it, playing that right side. Dribbles to the middle portion of the field toward the circle. Will give it up to Mark Howard, back in their defensive third. And here's Michael Thomas near side to Kevin Ellis along the touchline. Now we get to see a close-up, and it's knocked out by Orlando.
See, I thought Kevin, if Carlo had made that run into the corner, I think he could have knocked it down the line there, and he could have got it.
Ball travels down the field, and it goes over the goal line for a goal kick for Orlando. turn the lights on in here, Mo, just in case. We may have to turn them off because of the reflection off the glass. We'll have to check it out here in a second. Goal kick for Orlando, Miguel Gallardo. And this is what the grid down there lives for, those the fans, known as the grid, directly behind the goal box.
And the goalkeeper's exactly the same as what John, it's just up in the air and swirling back. Yeah. And he's going to get some grief off of the mob behind the goal.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Philip Lund loses control of the ball. Orlando now with it. Knocked down by Kevin Ellis. Won by Mark Howard. But taken by Orlando, but knocked out of bounds for a throw-in for the Energy. Here's Kevin Ellis looking for Otto Jujeri. Nice footwork there, knocked it down. And Orlando clears, and a battle for the ball at midfield, won by Energy, but then taken by Orlando on a foul right in front of the bench as Kevin Ellis pulls down Brian Spann. Brian Spann on loan from FC Dallas, and if you weren't with us earlier in the broadcast, we talked about how he played for FC Dallas last Tuesday, the reserve team, when this Energy squad was in Dallas to play them, and now is with Orlando again. Here's the free kick. Nice play by Kevin Ellis. One on the goal line and cleared by Mark Howard, but right to Orlando. And now they have it back offensively. Here is Spann looking for Molina. Molina, nice touch on it. Here he gets the ball back, but he can't control it. And Cyprian Hedrick with it, and he will take it and clear it out.
Did very well there, Cyprian. Very well. Good defensive work from him. Came right across, covered Mark Howard, who'd lost it. And Mark must be saying thanks, Cyp.
So here is Kevin Ellis, who will throw it in for the Energy.
Good throw.
Yep, to midfield, but won by Orlando. Otto Jujeri can't control it. Ellis with a touch on it again, and nice defense by Kyle Miller. And now Otto has it, but won by Orlando again out of the air. And here is Orlando. Anthony Poulos sends it far side to Luke Bolden. Left-footed pass up into the box, and Gareth Evans will head it out.
Ooh.
And Cyprian Hedrick can't get a foot on it for the Energy. And finally, he just clears it out. And did it go off an Orlando player? Yes, it did. It'll be a throw-in for the Energy. Actually, a foul is called. I thought a throw-in, but they called a foul.
Ooh.
We play in the 50th minute, just started the second half here in Oklahoma City. Orlando with a 1-0 lead over the Energy. Goal came in the 26th minute by Dennis Chin. And John Kempen's long kick up the field, won by Orlando. In the box, Miguel Gallardo, and he will control it with his left foot, and will wait for an Energy player, Kyle Gregg, to come up and challenge him.
So Energy now have got the same sort of thing with John now. John's hitting the ball and it's going into their box to their keeper. Well, that's a good strike from their keeper. Way over the box. Well done, Gareth.
Yep, and one out of the air by Gareth Evans, but travels out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando. Again, the Energy back in action on Sunday in Orlando, Florida, at the Disney Wide World of Sports Complex. One of the premier sports complexes in the nation, Mo, just so you'll know.
Oh.
And here is ball out of bounds by Orlando and a throw-in for the Energy.
Is it within a stadium? Never been there.
Uh-huh.
I've heard it's a superb facility.
Kevin Ellis clears it right side. One out of the air by Orlando. Taken by Cyprian, and a foul, but they'll play on.
Yeah, I was surprised he let that go.
Yep, they will play on here, and Cyprian gets it back at midfield, plays it back. Evans looking for someone, and has Philip Lund off his chest, and it goes right to an Orlando City player. Here's Brian Spann again. And the pass goes back to Brad Russin, who will send it to Miguel Gallardo, and his pass is partially blocked by the Energy, but still taken by Orlando at midfield. Here is Molina, and Molina's touch is wasted, and the Energy clears it away. But Orlando right back. Here is Brian Spann, and a slide tackle out of bounds for a throw, and nice tackle by Kevin Ellis, and those two, there's your gamesmanship right there, Mo, right?
That's gamesmanship, yeah. Yeah.
Kevin Ellis handed the ball to Brian Spann in not so of a nice way. That's all we can say about it.
Yeah.
And a push in the back,
and then
no foul.
He hadn't given a foul for that either.
Here is Orlando, and The pass cleared. One back by Orlando to Chin, and he tried to knock it to Molina.
Yeah,
and it's
overplayed
cleared.
it.
Yep, too many passes.
Yeah,
right,
too
Mo?
many passes. It could have, if he had a shot on there.
Yep.
Tried to be too clever.
Here's Alvarez, and he will send it all the way back, so Orlando City will reset. And Evans takes it out of the air, and wow, this wind really playing havoc with both teams.
What's surprising me though is that they pushed 4 players up front with the wind as heavy as it is, and they're not reaching the front players.
Playing a 4-2-4.
Yeah, they're playing a 4-2-4.
Yeah. Maybe they feel like they can get some more offense with 4 guys up there than what they had in the first half, which in the first half they had 10 shots to 5 for the Energy, so they were getting the shots they needed. But John Kempen had, of course, 4 beautiful saves. Here's Kevin Ellis, and boy, I tell you what, Ellis and Spann, you better watch those two because they're going after each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's a little private battle going on.
Here is Ellis right now.
Right there.
And there, right there again, yep.
See, that was off the ball, and
Yep.
you know, you can't allow that.
Let's see what happens from that. I mean, something's going to happen, Mo, if it's not taken care of.
One of them's going to get booked or sent off.
Yeah, yep. Here's Philip Lund with a touch. Sends it right side as Cyprian Hedrick comes out from defense. Plays it up, and his cross knocked down. And stays in bounds with the win. Hedrick looking for a pass down the right touch to Lund, but knocked out by Luke Bolton.
He is a strong lad, Cyprian Hedrick. He's a strong boy.
Yeah. 54th minute here in Oklahoma City. 1-0 Orlando with the lead over the Energy. You hear the wind picking up even more and more outside. It's not
swirling
getting
now.
it's not getting any lighter, Mo. Here's the throw in into the
across
box.
the goal.
And cleared by Orlando, and it will be out for another throw in. The Energy back home May 10th here at Pribble Stadium at 7 o'clock against Orange County. Energy quickly with the ball. Philip Lund looking for a pass into the box, and right there was Michael Thomas, but Thomas could not get a touch on it. And there is the keeper, Miguel Gallardo, with it. Nice opportunity that time by the Energy, but Michael Thomas just could not get his foot on it. And then after May 10th, the Energy back home again May 16th, so back-to-back home dates. And here is a whistle and a
It's a foul against Michael Thomas. Guy went across him.
They will quickly reset. The Energy will. Here is Otta now playing the left side since Peebo has been substituted for. Philip Lund with it, top of the box, looking for someone in the middle. Michael Thomas knocks it down and cleared by Orlando. But here comes Gareth Evans up from his defensive spot to Kyle Miller. Miller over to Cyprian, and Cyprian's touch is taken by Orlando. Now up the left touch line. Here's Orlando City. Here's Luke Bolden coming from behind the play to take over. And a nice slide tackle by Cyprian Hedrick to take away, but kicked it right to an Orlando City player. Here they are on the attack again. Brian Spann looking in the middle. Orlando City with a shot and a knockdown by the Energy's Gareth Evans.
Oh dear.
And we have a player down, actually. We have a player down on the other end of the field. And that appears to be Michael Thomas. I believe that is Michael Thomas, and let's see if they're going to bring the trainer onto the field. He had been down for quite a while. And
referee saying hold on.
Yep, I think he just needed a few minutes. OKC Energy FC fans, head to Buffalo Wild Wings, located on Northwest Expressway after the game to satisfy your hunger. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Buffalo Wild Wings on Northwest Expressway is a proud partner of OKC Energy FC. Buffalo Wild Wings on Northwest Expressway, you have to be there. And we will be there on Wednesday night for the Energy FC Coaches Show. We were suffering through some technical difficulties last Wednesday, Mo, so we weren't on the air, but we will be there this Wednesday.
Oh, that's good.
Had some great food provided by Buffalo Wild Wings. Love that place, love their wings and the frosty drinks they bring everyone.
Yeah, they made us very, very welcome, and to be fair,
here is a bad pass, and Kevin Molina steals it, and he's going to shoot and score. Mark Howard's pass back to John Kempen was not a good one, and Kevin Molina with the speed was able to beat John Kempen to the ball, got it past the goalkeeper, and an easy shot, and a goal is scored to make it 2-0 Orlando City.
I think that's that goes on the old adage of when in doubt, kick it out.
Yes, exactly.
I think Mark tried to play it into the keeper and not enough pace on the ball, and this fella's like greased lightning.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't make a mistake against him,
No, you
especially
can't.
in the open field
No,
like
he's
that.
so quick. So quick.
And that's exactly what happened. So
That's
the
going to
Energy
make
now
it an
down
uphill
2-0.
battle. Yeah, it's an uphill battle now, so we've really got to push forward.
So here is Mark Howard, and he will clear it up to Kyle Gregg, and it is stolen by Orlando again. They're on the attack. Up to Dennis Chen, who scored the first goal for Orlando, and a shot on the rebound by Kevin Molina off of the Dennis Chen knockdown. And it's wide left, and it'll be a goal kick for the Energy. And we're going to have a substitution as Pete Karenji will come into the game, and he's going to replace Ada Jujeri. So Karenji comes into the game for the Energy. Out of Maryland, 6'1", 175. And now the ball out of bounds on the far touchline. Again, a throw-in for Orlando here, who really have won the battle in the second half to control the pace and the possession, Mo.
Yeah, didn't need that goal this quick.
And Orlando touches it out of bounds. A throw-in for the Energy here in the 59th minute.
They have a great system, though, Orlando. They play the ball up really long to Chin, who knocks it back, and then Molino's in on it like every time.
And
It's
here's
almost
a
like
player
a
down.
rehearsal.
Yeah, here's a player down for Orlando. No damage done, and here the Energy with the attack. Kyle Miller to Stephen Perry. Perry, a substitute to start the second half. Gives it up to Kyle Miller. To Michael Thomas. And now to Karenji. Back to Michael Thomas, right side of the box, but Orlando quickly there. And the ball goes out of bounds, a throw-in for Orlando City. And now, Mo, they're going to take their time in throwing this.
Yeah.
Throw-in is headed out. And another Orlando City throw-in. Energy, every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will be streamed live on YouTube in 2014. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Energy FC YouTube channel today. Here's Orlando with the throw-in. Luke Bolden sends it up. Ball bounces just inside the line, and Gareth Evans will play it and looking to clear it. And finally does nicely, but right to Bolden, who's had one heck of a game on that left side, Mo.
Yeah, he has. He's been outstanding.
Here's Mark Howard. Now Kevin Ellis clears it to Kyle Gregg. Up to Pete Karenji, who's giving chase. And one in the back by Brad Russin. But bad pass off of Luke Bolden, it looked like, but played back by Orlando. Giving chase is Karenji. And it's cleared to Michael Thomas. Thomas loses control. And Orlando back on the attack, but won by Cyprian Hedrick. Hedrick with the push-off, but won that time by Umbinge. Up to Kevin Molina, working against Mark Howard, and a push in the back, and saved by John Kempen before it went out for a corner kick, I believe, Mo, because that came off of Mark Howard.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. He got a touch. He got a toe on it. Very quick, though. The guys up front, 2 or 3 of them, very sharp.
Kempen quickly throws it out to Cyprian Hedrick. Up to Perry on the right side, now plays it back. Here's Kyle Miller. You hear the wind outside. It just continues to pick up even stronger as the night goes along. And the ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Energy in the 62nd minute, trailing by a score of 2-0. John Kempen plays it just outside the box in the arc, and he wants everyone up as he's going to clear it the length of the field almost, and it'll be played by Orlando, actually a little shorter kick this time. And here's a pass through, looking for, who is that? Is that Molina?
Yep. Who else?
Actually, Chin. That's Chin.
Oh, it was Chin,
yep,
was it?
Dennis Chin.
Yeah.
Here's Kevin Ellis, and he can't
lucky.
get it to it in time.
there's a lot of stuff going on off the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, like there. I mean, Chin didn't. Is it? What's his name? 27.
Brian Spann.
Spann. He didn't need to run into him there. He's got the throw in. He's just run into him on purpose. I don't understand why he's doing that. There's obviously a little bit of nastiness going on between the two of them.
Right. Orlando with it just outside the box. Here is Chin. And now it goes back to Pullis, who sends it wide to Bolden. And now back in.
Great turn.
To Alvarez, who's tripped up, and a whistle. And a foul called against the Energy. This is going to be a dangerous spot.
Yeah, Cypriot caught his ankle. He's still down as well.
Anthony Pullis, I believe, is down for. Or is that in?
He's actually the son of the Crystal Palace manager.
Okay. That was Uminge.
Oh, was it Minga?
Yeah, not Pullis.
I'm talking Pullis, yeah.
Yep. So free kick for Orlando. Left side of the box, here it is, into the box, and Kempen comes out, nabs it about the 6-yard box, and he will quickly play it. Line drive down the middle of the field, no one
Straight
there.
into the goal area again.
Everyone was still running down the field.
Yeah, yeah.
The Energy had brought everyone back defensively, and Kempen did not allow them to.
Yeah, he's got to give them a little bit of time, because with the pace of that ball with the wind, they're never going to catch it if they're running from 20 yards.
I believe we're going to have another substitution for the Energy as Max Gunderson will come into the game here in a few minutes. Ball is played at midfield. Orlando has it. Boy, they are sending everyone up. Here's Luke Bolden wide open as he gets behind Stephen Perry. Into the box, a shot and a save off of the hand of John Kempen and off the post, and it travels out of bounds. It should be a throw-in for Orlando, but another nice save by Kempen, who looks like that might have hurt his hand. I think he's going to be okay, but obviously troubled. But nice shot, nice save by Luke Bolden and John Kempen.
That's again, even the fullbacks are pacey.
Orlando looking for a cross. Here it comes across the box and headed down and out for a goal kick.
Poor header.
And the Energy will have it, and they will also have a substitution here as Max Gunderson comes into the game, and he will replace Cyprian Hedrick. So Cyprian will come out of the game. A nice, well-deserved applause by the fans here because he's played one heck of a game, Mo.
Yeah, he's done much better. Much better.
As he gets a nice round of applause. Max Gunderson, 5'9", 155 out of Henderson, Nevada. Played in the PDL last year for the Austin Aztecs. And he makes, I believe, his second appearance this season for the Energy. And here is Kyle Gregg, who takes it into the box, looking for a pass. It's knocked down by Orlando. Phillip one and a push. And the ball goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
I can understand the crowd roaring.
A goal kick for Orlando on that one. Everyone thought Phillip Lund might have been pushed on the line. No call, and he took the ball out across the goal line. It'll be a goal kick here in the 66th minute. So here is Gallardo. Not a bad kick into the wind, but over the head of Kevin Ellis, and Brian Spann. It goes out of bounds for a throw-in. Nice throw by Kevin Ellis. Down to Kyle Gregg, and one by Alvarez. He will touch it out of there. Looking for Dennis Chin, but Gareth Evans right there. Looking for Pete Caringi. Kyle Miller can't control it, almost so. And here's Max Gunderson, who just clears it away. But Brian Spann with it. Kevin Ellis trying to split two defenders, and a whistle and a foul. So the Energy will have it on a free kick. About 40 yards out, Michael Thomas will take the free kick. We're in the 67th minute. Orlando with a 2-0 lead over the Energy. Thomas's kick into the box and knocked out by Gallardo. Quickly by Kevin Ellis.
Oh,
tried
this
to
is
clear it to
dangerous.
Kyle Miller, and there's a
3v1,
2-on-1.
This guy's really sharp.
Yep.
Go at him, go at him.
Here is Dennis Chin, and a long pass taken outside the box by Chin. On the right foot, looking for the cross, and it's knocked out. Nice defense there by Max Gunderson.
That was very good. I felt that he should have gone, and he didn't, and he did the right thing. He stayed and made the guy pass it, and then caught the guy that got it and knocked it out for a corner. He did very well there, very well, considering he's just come on.
So Orlando with their third corner kick of the night. Deep in the corner, and here is the cross, and it clears the box without touching anyone, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in. Who they're going to give it to? They're going to give it to the Energy, as it was knocked off an Orlando player. Here's Philip Lund. He can't control it, and one back by Orlando, but again taken away by the Energy. Energy need to get something going, Mo.
Yeah, they've
as we get late here now.
Yeah, 20
and
minutes
down
to go.
2 goals. Orlando will just clear it.
No, Orlando are now just happy to whack the ball upfield and hope that one of their quick lads up front gets on the end of it, because we'll start pushing players forward where we get a little bit desperate to score.
And they're going to have a substitution here coming up. Here is Mark Howard with it, and Molina giving chase. Boy, this guy's got speed, and
yeah.
You can see why he's touted everything that they've talked about, because he's an excellent player. He's got everything: speed, ability to score goals.
Yeah, good touch. Yeah, he's a good player, very good player.
Here is Corey Herzog, comes into the game for Orlando. He's going to replace Molina's sidekick, Dennis Chin. So the 23-year-old out of Reading, Pennsylvania, MLS experience with Vancouver, will enter the game for Orlando City, and they'll take their time as Dennis Chin comes out. Not a bad night for Chin, huh?
Yeah, very good. Had an excellent game.
Substitution comes in the 70th minute with the Energy down 2 goals. Here's the pass. Kevin Ellis working against Brian Spann. That's been a little tension build up between the two here in the second half. Here's the clear out by the Energy up to Kyle Gregg. Gregg giving chase. Orlando now sends it up. Gareth Evans with the head ball. And Orlando will bring it down. Sorry,
yeah,
Mel.
Yeah, for me, Gareth Evans has been outstanding. Don't think he's put a foot wrong all night. He's winning everything in the air. He's strong.
A little sloppy play going on right now, but here are the Energy, and they cannot get it before it crosses that touch line for a throw-in. Kind of sloppy on both
yeah,
teams
a bit
right
unfortunate there. Yeah.
So Orlando will have a throw-in here. And they're just taking their time. About 20 minutes to go here in the home opener for Energy FC. Hope you'll be out May 10th when the Energy return home. And Orlando knocks it out for a throw-in on the far touchline.
Is that the grid?
I believe so, trying to get the crowd started.
They've sent a couple of lads walking round, and they're going cheer, cheer. That's great. That's exactly what we need. Get behind the lads.
Energy with the throw. Here is Max Gunderson along the touchline to Perry. Now to Kyle Gregg. Gregg to the middle of the field to Thomas. Near side to Ellis. Ellis to Philip Lund. And Lund loses his footing and loses the ball at the same time. Here is Molina to the middle to Mbenge. Now to Alvarez. Alvarez on the ground, pass across the midfield stripe. Here is Mbenge. Far touchline. Now he gets it back just outside the box. Now back to Bolden. Bolden's had one heck of a game. And his pass into the box will carry out across the goal line for a goal kick. Walker Company is located in the heart of downtown Oklahoma City. Is a proud partner of Energy FC. Head to 121 Northwest 6th Street or visit walkercompanies.com for all your large format digital printing and promotional marketing needs. We play in the 73rd minute from Pribble Stadium in Oklahoma City. Jack Damrell, Mo Borum, Orlando City with a 2-0 lead.
Look, oh, he's in with a chance there. Oh, handball.
And a handball called against Kyle Miller. And the Energy turn it back over.
We haven't done what we normally do, is get the ball down and play it. I think we've both sides have thought, well, let's play some nature and play with the wind, and you know they haven't actually got it down and played it that much this evening, which is a bit disappointing. I know it's difficult with the winds, but.
Here's a free kick by Orlando, and a foul is going to be called.
Professional foul.
Yep. As one of the Energy players wrapped him up.
Gareth. Thou shalt not pass.
So Orlando will have it about 35, 40 yards out. Was there a yellow card given?
No, I think he's speaking to him, but unless he's got it out now, he's calling him over. So
yeah, he's going to issue a yellow card to Gareth Evans.
Yes.
Yep. So that yellow card comes in the 74th minute. And Orlando will take the short free kick just to the left of the box, just outside. Pass down to Bolden. Bolden's left-footed cross, headed up and over the crossbar, or just to the right of the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for the Energy.
Great run again by Bolden. I mean, he's been outstanding getting down that left-hand side and getting crosses in. Big, tall lad, 6 foot odd, and quick.
Kempen's kick taken by Orlando at midfield. And that time Bowden's kick is going to sail out of bounds for a throw-in. Energy need to get something going here as we get late in this contest.
Yeah, and the later we go, the more desperate we're going to get. Well done, son.
Here's Kevin Ellis. He steals it for the Energy. Breaks away from one guy. Gives it to Philip Lund down the left touchline to Pete Karinji. Karinji into Michael Thomas, and Thomas's touch, he can't control it, and is stolen by Orlando. A long pass up the field. Corey Herzog gives chase, but Gareth Evans right there, and he will send it back to Kempen. Kempen over to Max Gunderson, who will bring it up for the Energy on the far touchline. And now Kyle Miller has it.
Too tight.
Here is Kyle Gregg to Stephen Perry, to Miller. Back to Gregg.
Good stuff.
Up to Pete Karinji in the box, and right there is the keeper, Miguel Gallardo.
Yeah, overhit it again, the wind again.
And Gallardo will take his time here in the 76th minute. Knocked down by the wind, his punt, and headed over by Brian Spann out of bounds. Energy will have a throw in at midfield. It is into Karinji, but headed away. And taken by the goalkeeper, Gallardo. Gallardo's punt out, won by the Energy. Here is Philip Lund, and again, Lund loses control of the ball.
He looks rusty.
Yes.
He looks half a yard slow.
Here's a push at midfield, no foul called. Lund again, just out of his reach, but knocked out. And goes into the box. Getting a little sloppy again, Mo, and Orlando has it. Here is Molina just past midfield.
They're quite happy to just poodle along now. 4 against 4.
Along the left touchline, and Bowden's pass is no one's there, and the Energy will have it. Gunderson to Kyle Miller, back to
Ball.
Gunderson. Nice 1-2 play right there, but Gunderson can't keep a handle on it, and Giardo comes out all the way out of the box and clears it out of bounds. But here is the Energy, quickly back into Kyle Miller along the right touchline. Cross across the box and saved just before it goes out.
Done
Yes.
well there, the keeper. I thought he'd taken it over the line, but obviously the linesman was right next to him, so very, very good.
Miguel Giardo's had a nice game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been very safe. Never really looked in danger.
His punt out, handled by Kevin Ellis. Nice play right there by the Sporting Kansas City loanee. And here is Herzog with it for Orlando to Brian Spann. And out of Molina. Molina will take it himself down the right touchline. Michael Thomas giving chase. Is Thomas limping? He still looks like he's limping in a slide tackle.
Yeah, he is.
And he knocks it out.
Yeah.
He doesn't look the same, does he? He looks like he's a little slowed by that ankle.
He seems like he's carrying his leg, yeah.
Energy, they have a couple more subs, I believe. How many have they used? 3?
3.
Yep, they got a couple more.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he'll put them on, though. Although, I think Philip's struggling, come back in too early, or I know you always want to play, but he doesn't look match fit, match sharp, and that for sure is how he hasn't played.
And here he is with the ball and trying to split 2 defenders and double team. And
that won't pull
how
in.
is that not a foul? Yes. And they finally get the foul as Philip Lund almost had his jersey taken away from him.
Yeah.
McNeely's is a proud partner of Energy FC. Come check us out at 1100 Classen Drive in Midtown. That is McNeely's. Energy with the free kick here in the 79th minute. Just over 10 minutes to play. Here's Philip Lund, and Lund can't control it. Won by Orlando. They will bring it out from the back by Tyler Turner. Long pass up to Herzog. Herzog against Mark Howard. One before it goes out of bounds? No, it went out of bounds. It'll be a throw in. The Energy with the throw now. Jimmy Nilsson is not a happy coach right now.
No.
Here is Kyle Miller. Or make that Kyle Gregg. And now Kyle Miller has it. And Miller's pass sails wide out of bounds. Orlando will have it. Energy win it back. Nice pass up the left touchline to Kyle Miller. Miller, pass across the box and no one is there. And Orlando will clear it out. Back at midfield is Mark Howard. Here is Kevin Ellis. Plays it back to Mark Howard, and those two are going back and forth. And now Ellis, pass Spann. Up to Karinji, just left of the box. Pass across to Philip Lund, and he can't head it down in time. And it's cleared out by Orlando. The ball held up by the wind and really played havoc with Kyle Miller, who lost a handle on it, and won by Orlando. And here is Spann down the right side, and no one guarding him except Mark Howard about 10 yards away. And here's a cross by Orlando, headed just wide left for a goal kick.
They do very well. They slow the game down. They slow it down. They slow it down, then they go whack, and the quick lads go into the space. Yeah, good side. Good side.
Corey Herzog with that head ball just wide left of the post.
Yeah, it wasn't far wide, was it?
No. I thought it was going in.
Yeah, I did.
Except the wind may have blown it that way.
Yeah.
It may have been helped by the wind. On the other side now, Energy looking to get something offensively going. Philip Lund with it along the left touchline. Guarded by 2 players, and his pass is stolen. Up to Molina. Now up to Herzog, being held by Howard, and actually there's no call there, and both coaches are wanting a foul that time, and you could have gone either way right there, Mo, on that one.
Yeah, it's 50-50, and they were both kicking and pulling each other. But at least he should have called one way or the other, and he didn't do either. I think he just left it and said, well, they're both at it.
So the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando. It comes into Kevin Ellis of the Energy. Ball travels to midfield, up in the air. And Stephen Perry can't control it. Gareth Evans heads it out. And a nice pass up to Kyle Gregg by Pete Karinji off of the touch. Gregg just outside the box, slows up. Pass across. And Kyle Miller tries the one-touch in, but can't volley it in for a goal or a shot. And it goes wide out of bounds for a throw-in for Orlando.
A bit unlucky there. Kyle done a good cross in, and Kyle Miller came in and swung and completely missed it. I don't know if it wind deceiving him or his timing was off, but
substitution for Jimmy Nilsson and the Energy. David Lichty comes into the game, and they're going to take Mark Howard out. So they're going to play 3 defensively and send Lichty up to add another one offensively.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Last 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Yeah, you're down by 2 goals. You need to score quickly, and you need to score often.
If you remember, though, this is what we did at Los Angeles. We went 3 at the back, slung an extra attacker up, and the last minute they broke away and scored, which made it 4-2 instead of 3-2.
84th minute here in Oklahoma City. Orlando with a 2-0 lead. Energy with the ball on the far touchline. Here's Stephen Perry, the homegrown kid, and here's his cross, and no one can get their foot on it, and it's saved by Miguel Gallardo. Stephen Perry played his high school ball here on this field.
Yeah.
Although, I tell you what, the field that he played on compared to the field tonight, 2 different fields.
Yeah.
I can tell you that by having refed here and having refed Stephen Perry actually in high school and club ball. What a great player he was for Bishop McGuinness as they won the state title in 2007. And now he comes back home to play not only for his hometown team, but also for at his home school.
At his home school, yeah.
So
yeah, he must feel great going out there.
Things have changed, though, since 2007. They really put a lot of money, especially this year, onto the field. And here is a foul at midfield, and Karinji gets walked on by Orlando on the head ball, walked over the back, and the referee, Tony Mensah, calls the foul. So the Energy will have a free kick just below the circle.
Yeah.
Orlando getting ready to bring Mikey Lopez into the game. Mikey Lopez actually played with Jimmy Nilsson, the Energy head coach, in the U.S. Open Cup a couple years ago for Sporting Kansas City. Very familiar with Lopez and a couple of these other players. And here's a head ball in, and it's off of Orlando City head, I believe.
That's
was it? No, it wasn't.
It's got to be a
They
corner.
say it went off of an Energy player.
How did it? Oh, well, I didn't see it if it did.
And it will be a goal kick for Orlando City. Of course, we haven't really talked about it, but Orlando City also an affiliate or a partnership with Sporting Kansas City. So Sporting issuing players or loaning players to both Orlando and to Oklahoma City. Yeah,
sure.
So it's quite a opportunity for these guys. Really, they could be playing against each other one day and
playing
be on
with
the same
each
team
other
tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know what's happened here, but the referees.
Well, David Lichty and Kevin Molina were talking. Were exchanging something, words among each other. We play in the 86th minute here with Orlando up 2-0. The Energy's chances all came in the first half. They've had a couple here in the last couple minutes, and here is a goal kick that's actually may not end up out of the box. It does barely, and headed back by Orlando to the keeper.
Stephen come racing in there. Stephen Perry came racing in and headed it back in.
It almost went, the wind almost blew it back in the box, and I'm going to tell you, that is a question on the referee test. What happens if the ball doesn't leave the box in the air, or leaves the box in the air on a goal kick and never really clears the goal area, the penalty area? It's fascinating how many people get that question wrong.
Yeah.
And here's Kyle Gregg, and his dribble is kicked out by Orlando as he was trying to get in the box and tackled. It'll be a corner kick for the Energy. It's amazing, Mo, how many people actually miss that question.
Yeah.
Because technically, yes, it left the box.
But it didn't touch the ground.
Yes, it wasn't actually touched by someone.
Yeah.
Here is the cross by Thomas. Headed down by Orlando, still in the box. Dangerous play. And finally cleared by Orlando up. But again, the wind will hold it up. And Kevin Ellis will control it. I like how Kevin Ellis has played tonight.
He's done very well. He was my second choice.
We're going to announce the man of the match. And now a whistle and a foul. A late foul has been called, and the Energy will have a free kick. This will be from 35 yards out. Michael Thomas will take it. 87th minute. Thomas approaches the ball. In the air.
Good kick.
Perry knocks it back. Knocked down by Giardo.
Oh.
Shot by Lund and a save off the line by Orlando.
That was great defending by the guy, whoever it was. He got his head to it. It was brilliant. Great strike as well. I don't know who struck it, but
Stephen Perry headed it back in. And the crowd on their feet now on this corner kick. Here it is across the box, headed down and taken by Giardo on the goal line. Two excellent opportunities there by the Energy.
Yeah, two good chances. Well, you know, it was a great chance. He took it well, but the defender did superb on the line.
And I have no idea who that was that got it off the line. It's hard to see the numbers down there because of the lighting, but still excellent defense, but great opportunity for the Energy.
Yeah.
There's Orlando offensively. Looking to get something going, a nice defensive play by the Energy's Michael Thomas. He will quickly get it upfield. Have to play long ball now. It's knocked over to, who is that? David Lichty, and Lichty can't get a handle on it. And a foul is going to be called just outside the box. And a yellow card is going to be issued. A yellow card against Orlando. Number 6, we believe. Number 6, that would have been Anthony Poulos. Yep. No, number 23, Justin Clark. We have 6. The PA announcer has 23, Cass, so. But you're the official scorer, so. Let's see who they give it to. Energy will have a free kick just to the right of the arc, about a yard back. So this is going to be from about, what is that, about 23 yards out, Mo?
Yeah, 21, 22, I'd say. It's 18.
Depends on if it's
the arc is
just to the
22, so yeah, 23
so 23,
yards.
yeah. The wall is set. Here is either Michael Thomas or Kevin Ellis. It will be Michael Thomas, and he kicks it into the wall off of the legs. Ball down into the corner, and a shoulder charge by Kevin Ellis to knock Orlando off the ball. That's a professional play right there.
That is right, yeah. And I think it was a guy that he's been having a running battle with all night.
Of course it is. Brian Spann, yes,
Yeah.
of course. Energy with it still. Here in the 90th minute. Not sure how much stoppage time we'll have. We'll have to see here. Energy with a couple more chances. Back across mid-stripe. Evans with it. Here is David Lichty, and Lichty can't control it. Won by Orlando's Herzog. Now up to Brian Spann. Spann knocked down by Kevin Ellis. No foul called.
No,
Spann wants a foul called.
He died there.
Here's a pass up to Lund. One out of the air by Lichty. 4 minutes will be added here in stoppage time. Orlando with it. Here's Spann again. And he will take a long shot and wide left, not on the mark. It'll be a goal kick for the Energy as John Kempen will hurry up.
I've got to be honest with you. The crowd haven't moved.
No, they're here till the end, yeah.
They're here till the end. Normally you've got people now shifting out, but they haven't
Maybe
moved.
there's fireworks. I believe there's fireworks afterwards, so they're
is there?
staying here for the
right.
fireworks display, I believe. Knowing my good friend John Allgood, we're going to have fireworks after the game, right? No? Oh, you don't know? Okay. Maybe I spoke too early, huh? Cassie Gage, I call her the media specialist for the Energy, but she helps us out, Mo, on the road and at home. Does an awesome job.
I always call her Miss Noel.
Oh, yeah.
just put her tongue out.
Does a great job for the Energy. We thank her very much.
We would be nowhere without her.
No, we wouldn't. Here's the goal kick by Giardo. Philip Lund now with it. And slips down again. He needs to change cleats,
I think he needs he needs some studs.
Exactly. Here is Herzog working along the touch line and takes it out of bounds. Ellis will quickly get it in to David Lichty. Lichty, and his pass right to an Orlando player, and he thought he was fouled. Jimmy Nilsson is a hot camper tonight.
Yeah.
Here's a nice slide tackle by Max Gunderson, and now he's down. Orlando with it, going the other way. Orlando with a 2-0 lead here in the final moments
just keep it in
of
the
the home
corner now.
opener.
All he's going to do is keep it there.
And the way this is going, Orlando is going to move to 4-0-2 on the year, still top spot in the USL with
not
another
lost
3
a game
points.
yet. And we've got to face them next week, so that gives us a chance to get our own back.
Yeah, and we can watch the film, Jimmy can, and see what happened tonight. You know, they had their chances in the first half. Mo played an excellent first half.
First half, we had 2 or 3 good chances.
Unfortunate on the rebound off a great save by Kempen, and Dennis Chin was right there on the rebound. And then really a mental error on the second goal by Mark Howard.
Yeah,
so
it was a defensive mistake.
Exactly. Here is Kevin Ellis for the Energy, and he is being defended. Nice defensive play that time by Orlando, and they say Oklahoma City kicked it out, so it'll be a throw-in for Orlando. I believe so. We have about a minute and a half left in stoppage time. And again, like you said, Mo, really appreciate the fans who came out tonight. The next home game will be May 10th against Orange County, a team this club's already beaten. And the ball knocked out. And it'll be another throw-in for Orlando as they'll take their time here in the final seconds. The Energy beat Orange County 2-0 in the first game of the season. And here's the throw-in, knocked out again by Gareth Evans. And we might as well talk about our man of the match. We chose Gareth Evans for the Energy.
Yeah, for me, he's been outstanding all throughout the game.
Yeah, he's played a great game defensively.
Yeah, very good.
So
he's just slung the guy on the ground.
Yeah, I think that was more of a. I think that was more of a.
He was backing in. Well, the guy was backing in, and he just pushed him away, and he fell down on the floor like he'd been hit by a poleaxe.
Here is a breakaway for the Energy, and it is in for goal. Stephen Perry gets the first home goal for the Energy in franchise history on his home field.
That was a great run by Stephen there. Superbly took, just flicked it past him. Superb. If we've got a couple of minutes, we might be in with a shout.
Stephen Perry. How many goals did he score in high school on this field? And he scores the first ever home goal for the Energy here tonight. In stoppage time in the final seconds.
They'll just go straight back to the keeper here.
Orlando with the kickoff. Let's see how much time they will add. Looks like he's going to add 1 more minute possibly. The Energy may have one final chance. Evans with it. Back in his defensive third. He's got to push it up. Here comes a long pass up, and it sails over the head of David Lichty out of bounds, and Orlando will just walk and take their time.
Keep him in the corner.
And Adrian Heath, the head coach of Orlando, saying, hey, ref, let's go. The whistle should blow. Jimmy Nielsen saying, we need to add another minute. Here is the Energy.
Chance.
Kyle Miller with it, and he can't get it in. Jimmy, I think, wanted him to put it into the box.
Yeah.
Orlando with it. And now Kevin Ellis. Nice defensive play, but still won by Orlando. Taken down in the corner.
Yeah, just keep it there.
Here's Umbinge.
Sensible play.
Umbinge in the corner. And now he's double teamed. Still in. And it's out on the Energy. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando.
They'll just keep it in that corner, play it back in there. They're in no rush at all.
Referee wants him to play it because time is up. Yes, he's showing that time is up. I believe he'll blow his whistle once play is restarted. And there it is. There is the final whistle here tonight at Pribble Stadium in this home opener. A valiant effort by the home squad, the Energy FC, as they lose to Orlando City by a score of 2-1, Mo, and fantastic finish. They got their goal, just came a little late.
Yeah, if we could have got it 5 or 10 minutes before, we'd have been in with a shout, especially with the wind. It was weird, really, because with the wind, both sides looked better playing into it rather than with it, because it just kept overshooting. So, a little bit disappointing. I don't know whether we should keep our eye here on Jimmy and what he's going to go and say to the referee.
He will be fine. Tonight's game is brought to you by Mercy. Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance to learn how. Mercy, proud sponsor of Energy FC. We will take a break from Pribble Stadium in Oklahoma City, where Orlando City defeats Energy FC by a score of 2-1. You're listening to Energy FC Soccer on 96.1 KXY.
After the match, be sure to catch KXY Live on 96.1 FM. Hosted by Jack Demerol, join Coach Nielsen as he debriefs today's game.
4 minutes, Jake, right?
Post-game autographs will be held for 15 minutes directly after this game. Please be patient as our players need to hydrate. Autographs will be held on the north end of the main field. Once again, make your way to the north end of the main field for tonight's autographs, but be patient as our players need to hydrate after a tough game. Thank you.